is indeed a blammo.
And there we go. We're live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Rookzer0 Draw channel. I don't even think that's what it's called. Today we're doing a live play. We're going to play some D&D. We're going to play some level 0 D&D.
Is it called playing if we just talk about the character?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe not. Maybe it isn't really actually a live play if we're...
Isn't D&D basically just talking?
Today I am joined with Jonas and Captain Jump Rope. And we are going to... I lost my pen. That's not good. The pen is missing. The pen is gone.
You'll be fine.
Chat. Did you steal my pen?
No.
No, I don't need your pen. I need my pen. My pen's right here. We're good. Okay. So we are today... Welcome, Rick, to the live stream. We are doing something a little different today. We are going to talk about our D&D characters for this level 0 campaign. I'm going to introduce everybody to the setting that we're going to be using for this. And we're going to be drawing stuff related to the game instead of our normal Discord shenanigan race. If you are in the Discord and you want to chat with people like normal, you could always very welcome to use the live stream chat. We are in a separate chat because we need to capture the lovely voices of Jonas and Captain Jump Rope. So that's correct, Andreas. We can hear people today. We have two lovely guests. I hope you both have dice. That might be important. Let's do a dice check real quick. How does this sound? Was that a terrible noise?
It was not that loud.
It was not that loud? Okay, good. I just realized I have metal dice and a glass table, and the microphone is attached to it. So that could be terrible. That could be totally, totally terrible. But yeah, so we're going to be viewing people. You might hear a cat come walking through here in a second.
Well, it's really weird hearing myself on the stream, but... Do I really sound like that? Holy shit.
Zero. Whoop. There's just... Oh, I'm sorry, Jumper. Where were you drawing? Am I stealing your spot?
I hadn't planned out a spot yet.
Okay. So this is going to be the first attempt at this. And so this, like I said, this episode's going to be a little different. If you'd like to... Oh, I didn't think about that. I have to mute Discord. Otherwise, I'm just going to get...
The pings?
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be, oh, is it mine or yours?
Everyone's just going to be spamming everything.
You can always just mute the server.
Oh, that's awkward. I coughed and I muted myself, but
That was you? Okay.
So, for reference, because we are still setting this up, and this is going to be kind of an experimental episode, I do have the YouTube chat open, so if you want to talk to us or yell at us or say that we're playing D&D wrong, that's fine. It's over there in the YouTube chat. We're also going to be using the voice channel chat. And like I said, if people in the Discord want to join the live stream chat, they can. We just won't be able to hear you today while we're running the game. These games, if they work out, might be something that we turn into full-length episodes. Like, I will cut them down and actually make videos out of them. But I think when we do this, maybe once or twice a month, we'll invite people, different people. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be the three of us forever. We'll find out. But hopefully we'll invite more people to play with us. And this is going to be really, really loose games of D&D. So... without further ado, I need my notes. I'm going to introduce you both to the town of Siltstone. Siltstone. Let's see if I can say it the right way. So this small mountain town was made... See, I already screwed up. I've never actually wrote. There we go. Read. That's the word I'm looking for. I've never read a script to a live audience before. That's fun. I mean, I have been talking, but not on YouTube. So this will be fun. You guys will actually get to hear a full-length kerfluffle of me talking. This is cool. So this small mountain town has made a name for itself in its long lifespan. Originally as a town of prosperity and opportunity, this now quiet town was... once known for its deep mineral rich mines, and now has become the quiet haven for farmers and merchants traveling from the likes of Old Town to Ironhold. Nestled in the basin of the Iron Deep Mountains, Siltstone has remained a common location for travelers due to its geographic locations to the road of the ice flow, as well as its hospitality and proximity to adventure. So this is a small mountain town. It's full of dwarves and gnomes and a few humans that tend to live there. There are 4 main staples of this small mountain town. The Ice Flow River, which flows from the Iron Deep Mountains to the east. Excuse me. The church, a large temple built more than a century ago to honor Sarenrae, long before the naming of the town. The mines themselves, all family-owned, allowed this town to grow and flourish. But throughout the generations since the town's inception, many have long since dried up and have been sold or abandoned. Only a few older dwarven families still cling to the traditions and support the town as they can with their mining habits and their industry. Finally, the Spider's Catch, a fairly large inn set in the center of town, capitalizing on Siltstone's position between the nearest port of Old Town and Ironhold, the next largest city over. The Spider's Catch is always busy. Its owner, Antic Coldfellow, has made a name for himself by always having a room to rent and some of the best ale available. He welcomes adventurers and always seems to have jobs posted for those looking, from anyone who needs coin or just adventure. And this, my friends, Jump Rope and Jonas, is what has brought you to the town of Siltstone. You approach from across the street. You've now ended up at the Squeaky Wheel, a small, small part at. Dang it! So close. We almost did it. You've arrived at the Squeaky Wheel. This store appears to be part adventuring shop and part tack and saddle. You've ridden in from wherever you hail from, most likely coming through the port at Old Town, and you've managed to hop a ride, find a horse, and you've ended up here at the Squeaky Wheel across the street from the Spider's Catch. This is going to be the fun part for you. I'd like to know what you are / look like / pretending to be. And that's where we're going to start this strange campaign.
Ugh.
Was that a lot? Was that too much? Or was that...
No.
That was good. Okay.
That's the longest intro in D&D I've ever had, I think.
Bri, welcome.
5 minutes. That's a record.
Was that 5 minutes of talking? That's awesome. That's great. This is fun. This is fun for me already. You're playing D&D correctly. I like it. Thank you, Not.
Well, there's really nothing much to say. I'm a kobold. I look like a kobold. I sound like a kobold most of the time. Do I think like a kobold? Nobody knows except a kobold.
Nobody knows. Perfect. That's totally fine.
I'll think up more details.
Are you taking notes on the art page?
I can do what I want with my art.
I guess so. Yeah, that's fair. I'll just have to edit the video later. I can cut out the small parts. I'm actually gonna have to set this up a weird way. But so this is gonna be fun for these exact reasons because we have to figure out what we're doing. Jump Rope, what about you? What do we see standing in front of the tack and saddle? What do we see in front of the Squeaky Wheel that is also a tack and saddle?
I am a half-elf woman. I have brown curly hair and green eyes. And that is that.
Okay.
Here for adventure.
You know, my weirdest first question is, how the hell did we meet?
That's a good question.
It sounds like I'm echoing a little bit in yours.
Are you?
How's that sound? Do we have an echo happening?
As the stream, I sure as hell don't notice.
No, I'm pissed off. I haven't finished my character.
Testing. I am echoing a tiny bit.
Okay, let me adjust my volume then. This is all stuff we have to figure out, so it's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm guessing if I'm gonna be a pet again, this is gonna be hilarious.
A pet? I don't know if you need to be a pet.
The first time I've called pet someone.
How's that sound? Is that better?
Yes, it is much, much better.
Okay.
Seems good enough to me.
Just a quick, now that people are showing up. Once again, thank you, Bri. Jump Rope, Jonas, Rookzer0. Good afternoon to everybody, Bri says. I did, this morning, I set up the membership program for YouTube. So if you want to become a member, you get access to, I think, special emojis and some like cool nameplates. I haven't seen that yet, so we're gonna test it out and we're gonna see what happens. And yeah, so that's a fun way you can support us, or you can support us on Patreon. Right now, the way these games are set up is I'm going to be trying to invite some of the Patreon members as we go, and we'll see how that goes. So thank you, John. Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm excited to see how that goes. This is an experimental episode for those just jumping in. We're going to play some D&D. We're going to draw some characters. We're going to basically set up the environment for this to work, and we're going to see how it goes. So this is going to be really weird and experimental, and I'm super excited for it. If you want to jump into the Discord, you can join the chat there. We won't be able to hear you today because we are recording voice using Discord. It might be something that we have to set up separately, and we'll deal with that as it comes. If you do have audio issues, because we do have 3 people talking today, please let us know, because we need to hear about it. We need to figure that out. We need to make sure that it works and is great for everybody. So if I'm cutting out or we have an echo, please feel free to yell at us. There's Brian with the emotes. That's pretty great. Yeah, cool. It does. It puts a little thing next to your face. That's cool. Is it an emoji though? I'm not sure how that works. Still super cool. We got a little bug bee. Okay, cool. So we have Kobold. What was the Kobold's name? Which you have not introduced yourself yet, I guess. So maybe Jump Rope doesn't know your name yet.
Oh God. What is a good kobold name?
You could ask the chat, I guess. What's a good kobold name?
Yes, chat, give me a kobold
We
name.
need a kobold name.
I'm like waiting for Greg appear once more from that.
Oh, not, yeah.
He's gonna immediately yell, Greg. Yeah, there it is.
That's pretty good.
What would a kobold guessing a human name call it? Like if a kobold had to pick a stereotypical human name, what would it be?
My name's Greg!
I am Greg, and I was born in the caves of Dragon Mountain.
My name is Human Greg. That's my name, Human Greg. What?
Yes, my name is Greg. Let's go with Greg, I guess.
Now, I have a question for the chat. Bry has the little emoji of Bugbee next to his name. Is that animated for anybody and not me? It's supposed to be animated, and if it's not, I'm going to yell at some YouTube people. Jump Rope's first victim. I've captured you. You're now my kobold. Oh, I see why you keep becoming a kobold slave now. That makes sense. Now I get it. It's not. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that. It's supposed to be a little animation, so we'll...
What do you mean by now you get it?
Why you said you've been a pet before in D&D campaigns. I think that's funny. People stealing kobolds. Either way.
Well, yeah. I think the first one was because I was working for a different criminal organization, and they're like, hey, there's a kobold. We'll pay you 1 gold per day if you join us, and they just took me.
That's pretty good. I like that idea of people hiring. I like it when players hire each other. I think that adds a cool dichotomy to the player group. Okay.
They actually paid me.
So the other fun thing I'm going to do for this campaign is we have a tiny halfling or half elf.
Half elf.
Half elf. Okay, we have a tiny half elf, brown hair, and then we have the small kobold, whose name is unknown to everybody, which is fine. For now, that's totally fine. Hopper's a good one. What I'm going to do for you, you have not rolled your stats yet. You do not have classes. You are level 0. And I'm going to gift you both an adventure kit, because I assume you have both decided to become adventurers. And the way we're going to run this, the adventure kit has everything you need in it to be an adventurer. And that sounds super powerful, and that's fine for right now. Basically, if you can think of something like, I think I would have brought 20 feet of rope. Cool. The way this is going to work, though, is as soon as you say that and I say that's fine, you have to write that down in your inventory or you're going to forget it. Does that make sense? So we're going to slowly build your adventuring kit as we play. And whether that's like I have pots and pans, I have a python, I have a compass. That's all just make it up as you go. We'll let it kind of be free form for a while, and eventually I'll say that's it. Like that's the only thing you have in your kit.
Right.
Beyond that, so basically, I don't want you to worry about like digging through an inventory right now.
Did I just randomly steal some poor drunk adventurer's adventuring gear?
I don't know. Did you?
Is that what you did?
Probably. Let's go with that.
Okay. So you also don't know what's in your adventuring pack yet.
No idea.
That's great. I like that.
You can decide.
Along with that, you have either you have the one item you brought with you, and whether that is a weapon that you think, you know what, I'm going to be an adventurer and I'm going to take this with me, whatever this was. And so if you guys want to think about that, if you do want to think about that, go ahead. Or if you already know what you want to do, perfect. And we will just build that with your character. So.
I think I also stole some adventurer's greatsword. Who knows?
You have a great sword? Okay, perfect.
I steal a lot of stuff, friend.
We are learning this about your character. We have a thief. We have a thief kobold with a great sword, which I'm on board for. I want you to go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
I rolled a 15.
At 15? Cool. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Do you want to take that roll, or do you want to roll stats? Let me rephrase that. I said that wrong. I'm sorry. That's your roll for the sleight of hand for you stealing that great sword.
All right.
Okay. I need you to roll 3d6 so we can determine your dexterity.
Oh, shit, that's pretty bad. 15 again.
15 again? Well, okay, great. Did you roll any ones? I don't think you did if you rolled 3 dice.
I did. No, I didn't.
Okay. Your dexterity is 15.
Excellent.
Which means that you had a +2, so you rolled a 17. You were able to steal this drunk soldier's greatsword and pack with no foreseeable consequences. You just walked up, took it, walked away.
Excellent.
Excuse me.
Oh, the coughing echoes.
Yeah, that was weird. I forgot. I leaned away from my mic and right into jump ropes. That was...
How about you? Don't you have like long sleeves? Cough into your like elbow.
I did. That's the weird thing. It's really loud. I'll have to figure that out.
Interesting. Let's see. The chat had a lot of nice names though. Right?
Yeah, let's take a look at those. We have let's see. Wait, that sounds familiar. Flick. Like a flick of the wrist. Flynn's a good one. His name is unknown. I'm unknown kobold. Adventurer.
The unknown clan.
Kobold has no name.
Kobold Shadow Jutsu.
The Kobold Ninjutsu class. That'd be pretty great. I forgot. So I just now realized I've gotten so used in the live streams to repeating what everybody says. I don't need to do that anymore for this video. Yeah. I will try not to do that.
Done. You can hear me.
I will try not to reiterate.
Guff, Corbin, Kumak. Oh, there's so many.
Ooh, Guff's a good one. Guff the buff kobold. With a dexterity of 15. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to take my own notes here.
I'm going to take Guff. You know, I think I'm going to take Guff. You won this time, not? You still got me take a name which starts with G, so yeah.
It's spelled... Guff is spelled Greg.
What?
Said Guff.
Oh. I saw letters Greg, but I was like, Guff! Because I couldn't read human.
Them kobolds don't read good.
Yeah, kobolds don't read good. Or his name is still Greg, but he just pronounces it Guff, or he writes it down as Guff.
My name, Guff, is not the smartest of kobolds. Guff doesn't do anything well in life. Got kicked out of my own clan.
Hippo. I'm Hippo the kobold. Welcome.
I am Hippo the kobold.
All right, your dex is 15. And I will, because you did this, I won't do this every time. I'm going to give you sleight of hand. So we're going to give you a sleight of hand bonus.
Proficiency?
Yeah, we'll give you proficiency in sleight of hand.
Wow.
Okay. So you have a great sword. You have an adventurer's pack. Anything weird about your clothes? Are you wearing like a fur coat Or like leather?
Did I teach you to steal his clothes as well?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is there anything else, or is that pretty good?
I stole some sweet-looking greaves from some random dude I found in the late night. Maybe he was dead or not, I don't know. I didn't check. I just was like, ooh, shiny, and took them.
So it sounds to me like you might have been hanging out in Old Town a little while ago, which is full of sailors and drunks and people spending money without having like a really good place to spend money because they don't want to drive all the way to Ironhold. So I'm going to assume you came from Old Town, which before that, that's up to you. But it sounds like you came through Old Town to get here. So that's part of your backstory.
I just run around. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Perfect.
But I'm doing something.
How about you, Jump Rope? What did you bring with you?
I brought a long duster coat and almost like a cowboy hat. Although I don't know if there are cowboys in this world.
That's totally fine. I think that's good. I mean, no, that's good. Keep going.
And I have a heavy crossbow and a limited number of bolts in my adventurers pack, so we'll have to keep track of that.
Okay, I would say you probably... Actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way. You have 13 bolts, unless you want to roll a d20. I'll let you roll a d20 if you want. I'm giving you 13 otherwise. The gamble is yours.
13.
Okay.
I'll take 13.
That's totally fine.
Still echoing. I'm not feeling lucky this morning.
Okay, I'm going to push... I'm going to go ahead and switch to push to talk.
Okay.
How's that sound? Is that working better?
We can definitely hear an audible click when your button goes off, but are we still having echoing issues?
We are, yeah.
If we are, I sure as hell didn't notice it.
Okay.
I am Guff.
It's gonna be a little bit of
two flips in the air to hit my great sword.
You know what I
they
can
got this
do?
advantage.
Trying to think about this. Trying to think about the best way to go about doing this without.
Still echoing. Okay.
I think I'm echoing from. Am I echoing or is Jump Rope echoing? Because I think I might be getting picked up. Gotta wait a second.
Yes, it is 2 players.
Cough right into the microphone. Brilliant.
Interestingly enough, yes, there's only 2 here.
Only 2 players. Most likely.
It is apparently still echoing.
Okay. Reverb is back on her mic. Yes, not Rookzer0 or Jonas, sadly. It's Jump Rope. Okay, so you need to turn your sensitivity down up a little bit.
If I am echoing, I'm coming through in your mic.
Okay. Then I will turn mine up a little more and we'll see what happens. Let's go this button over here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us while we figure this stuff out. I think this is going to be a fun adventure. Allergies. How's that? Is that better? Am I echoing in the background now? Anybody in Discord can comment in there as well. It might be a little faster than waiting for the YouTube chat. The captain dropping the science, bam.
I will also maybe just try to not speak as loudly so I don't get picked up over there.
Yeah, the other problem might just be that because we are... If I'm talking, it turns the mic sensitivity up. And then if you talk right after, it just picks that up. So you and I might need to just make sure that we are taking a small pause before talking to each other.
That would make sense.
So yeah, we'll try that, and we'll go from there. Okay. So you have a trench coat, a duster.
Mm-hmm.
You have your adventure pack. I'm going to go ahead and say because of your duster, you have a crossbow. We'll say a light crossbow for now, or do you want a heavy crossbow?
I think I took a light crossbow.
Okay, we'll say you have a light crossbow, and I'm going to go ahead and give you light leather armor, which is just leather armor. We'll count your duster as a leather armor.
Okay.
These are a bit weird ones, but I like them.
My oh no. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. I'm realizing now that everybody's just going to hear my Discord boops.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have a whole bunch of people texting me about political stuff. Dang it. No political stuff on the chat. Well, they don't know. They're not in the chat right now.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, I think that's good. So you two are standing out front of the squeaky wheel across the street from the Spider's Catch. The street is a hard pack dirt road. It looks like it's well maintained, like there's not a lot of potholes. You do see a handful of dwarves and humans running about their business. People are dressed fairly well. Not fancy, but also it's not peasantry. Like, these people are common folk. They're nicely kept, they're clean. This doesn't seem to be a place where there are a lot of drunkards about. It seems like everyone here has a job and they're running around. It's a pretty nice, calm, quiet town, even though it is somewhat bustling. Like, everyone is running back and forth with fruit and vegetables, and some people have horseshoes that they're coming back and forth because you are by the squeaky wheel. It seems like this is the place to go. People are coming in and out of town. And most of the people that come through are stopping off at the Spider's Catch. Maro Doom, thank you very much for your... I won't be doing push-ups today. I'll do them after the stream. Because we are doing this. Then again, I guess we could all do push-ups. That would be fun. I'm not gonna state that on you guys right now. We'll do that later.
We can, yeah.
Since we're doing so much other stuff today, we'll have to hold off on that.
For now.
Okay. Let me reread this once, and then I will read it to everybody. So you've both been dropped off from your bumpy wagon rides to Siltstone. You've been dropped off in this dusty street with a few meager coins to your name, so you do have a little bit of gold, not a lot. And we're going to keep that really vague for the moment. You hear tales of great wealth and fortune here, and many of the travelers along your journey to here, were telling you stories about adventures and perils and beasts and monsters all around Siltstone. It's got a little bit of a history of just creepy things, and that's why adventurers kind of flock here.
What kind of creepy things?
What kind of creepy things, you say? Well, there's been great tale of skeletons roaming the countryside at night, as well as a flaming horse seems to be seen on the hills just outside of town every now and again. But during the day, no one's been able to find it.
Cool.
People start darting back and forth. A young man who brought you into town, one of the young men that brought you into the town by the docks, bids you a good day. And he said he's heading to the squeaky wheel to get his horses tuned up because, bumpy ride, not always the best thing. But the road stretches both directions down the road, one leading out of town, the other one leading into town, seeing all these nicely well-kept businesses and storefronts. He suggests that, the Spiders, if you're staying for a while, the Spider's Catch is the best place to start. And some of the other adventurers tell you that they are going to stay there as well. So it sounds like a pretty good place to be. But there are also other things to explore. If you want to try to do some shopping or you want to look around for things, you can ask people around town. You can run wildly into the darkness if you like. But
I don't remember what John Brooks' character name was.
She hasn't.
I don't think we've said yet.
Yeah, and now that you've one second, sorry. Okay. Now that you've been talking to people as you're coming into town, some of the things you have heard because you were talking about it. There is someone at the church who's been looking for a band of adventurers for some great mission, which is not been described. No one seems to know what it is. You've also heard tales of an old man going missing, an eccentric old dwarf. You've heard that there are you've been warned to keep track of your items because some of them people have had things gone missing recently, clothes and food mostly, but some tools, as well as monster sightings. So people have seen a few creatures, a few goblins, a few skeletons running around, and looking around the street, you don't see many non-dwarf humans or gnomes. That's the biggest part of the city here. Occasionally you will see like an orc maybe like carrying his wares down the street, and people seem to be somewhat jovial to him, not like off-standing or off-put. He seems to be there, and they seem to know who he is. So, but this is a very, very human dwarf town. Let's put it that way. So, go ahead. What would you like to do?
Did we both come in on the same cart, or did we both just jump off at the same stop?
Wait, we all do push-ups? If I had another $10, can I skip the push-ups? I think you can skip the push-ups right away. That's fine. I will do push-ups later just because I need to. I need to do my exercises. It's just a thing I do, so I'm not putting that on anybody. Thank you, Goldtooth. I would assume, back to the story, that if you didn't both come in on the same cart, you came in at the same time. So that's up to you two, whether or not how much of your journey you've spent beforehand. If you want to know each other already, that's fine as well.
I'm fine with either. So I'll leave it to Captain Jumprope.
I don't think I came from Old Town, so I think I came on a different cart. But it sounds like there's work to be done, and all those things sound like you're pointing us towards the inn, so I'm going to head towards the inn.
That's fine. I will say, just as a way of my storytelling, I will guide you in directions like that, but you're never forced to go that way, so don't feel like you have to if you don't want to. If you are here for adventure, which is what I've kind of set you up to be, it's a good place. It's a good place to be.
So, since I don't know Jumprope, I'm gonna follow them because they seem... That coat looks excellent. It looks nice on me.
Okay.
That's my only thought. So I was just gonna discreetly follow them into the, I guess, or as discreetly.
As you slowly start crossing the street, you see a small halfling girl wearing a bright leather clothes. It looks almost like an apron. Not quite armor, but it seems kind of padded. With large blacksmith gloves up to her hands. And she has about 8 knives just kind of stuck in her clothes in different places. Like, not like stabbed, but like stuck in her clothes. Kind of at different angles. And she says, welcome to Siltstone. And then she just like starts dazzling you with her hands, just moving around and just like waving at you. And then she pulls out one of the knives, and then she pulls out another one, and then they both fold into 2 more knives, and then she begins to juggle.
What?
There is now a small halfling girl juggling in front of you, blocking your door to the spider's catch. And she says, "You look new into town. Can I be of any assistance?" And she starts like juggling half the knives with one hand, and just like flipping the other one around.
How much is she blocking the door with?
You could probably just walk past her, except that she's flailing knives about. I would also say that the people around you don't seem to care or notice that she's doing this. Maybe like she's done this a lot.
Done this a lot, eh? Me as a experienced thief, kobold, I shall ignore her.
You're just gonna walk past?
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
Okay, that's fine. Roll me a dexterity check.
Fuck.
We already know now you have a dexterity, which is good. 15.
Natural one.
Natural one? Okay. You kind of like, I gotta go, and you shuffle past her. And as you do, she kind of like, and just like starts bumbling the knives about. You do get hit by one of them. It doesn't hurt you. It's just kind of like, bink, bounces off you, and you then realize the knives are not sharp.
All right.
And she kind of like tumbles and drops all the knives, and she just like looks at you awkwardly for a second, and then just like starts picking them up and putting them back in her sleeves and like hiding them up her gloves. And she's like, my name's Shiva. How you doing? Can I help you? Can I show you around the city? And she's still doing this like weird jazzy hands thing, like trying to impress you with her movements.
I'm going to try and help her pick up the knives. Sorry, will you repeat her name because
Shiva.
Shiva.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, hello, Shiva. My name's Marina. I've heard several different things about this town, but you said that there's an old man that's. I've heard that there's an old man that's gone missing. Do you know anything about that?
An old man? And she kind of stops her jazz hands, and she's like, "Oh, you're adventurers. I'm sorry. I thought you were just like traveling people. You got some nice stuff. I was gonna, She starts like kind of doing the hands gesture again. She's like, tip, yeah, no, okay, that's fine, no, it's cool, okay.
I don't think I have any use for build knives, thanks.
She's like, I'm a performer. I hear things. I do hear things. But if you're gonna be looking for stories about a missing old man, I think they're talking about old Hammond, but I haven't heard much more. You might want to talk to Antic. He's inside. He's my mentor. She like kind of winks at you.
Inside the inn?
Yeah. Oh, you're a weird fellow. And she kind of like gets up and closely looking at you. Do you have a tail, by the way? I assume you have a tail.
Of course I do.
Okay. So she's insanely fascinated with your tail. Just like, oh, that's crazy. I wish I had one of those. And she's like, I could juggle so many more. And she pulls out like two more knives and starts juggling them. Just kind of absent-mindedly. And she's pretty good. She's pretty good just juggling those 2 knives. And she's like, I could juggle so many more knives with if I had a tail. That'd be awesome. And she starts like, what color would you say this is? And she's asking about your scales. And she's getting like really touchy. She's just like,
my scale color? Oh shit. I'm like red.
Red? Cool. Okay.
Bordering pink, I guess.
We have a red, pink,
Let's go with that.
gold.
A really revealing color. I cannot ever stealth anywhere. You can see me a mile away.
Safety orange.
No.
So you've picked up these daggers. Go ahead and roll me a perception check real quick. Rick has a backlog of 50 push-ups from the end of the stream. Keep track of that, Jacob. We'll check that out before the end of the stream, and maybe I'll do it at the end.
Did you do your... Let's go with red then.
Your perception check?
Pink.
I didn't remember you asking me for a perception check.
Sorry, roll me a perception check now that you're picking up the knives.
Okay. Now comes the point where I need to decide which dice set is like quintessentially this character.
You'd be surprised how much of a red kobold can actually stealth into areas. Goldtooth would be the expert on red kobolds, I think.
I rolled a 19 on my dice.
Okay, you rolled a 19, so that's good. And now we'll go ahead and roll me for your wisdom stat. 3d6.
3d6, okay.
Do you need another d6?
No, I have them.
Okay.
I just threw one on the floor.
Reroll that one. And you can reroll ones.
I rolled 2 6s and a 4.
2 6s out of 4. Pretty good. 14. So you rolled a 21 for your perception. Go ahead and write that down as your wisdom score.
2 6s and a 4. That's...
Oh, that's 16. Wait, did you say 2
20.
4s and a 6? Or 2 6s?
2 6s and a 4 is...
That's 16 then.
16.
So it's plus 3, so 22?
19
22.
plus 3 is 22. Okay.
Okay, so you pick up these knives, and these knives look well made, but as you're looking at them, you realize that, one, they are not sharp at all. They're pointy, but they're not sharp. They're very well balanced, and they look really beat up, as if someone has been practicing a lot and dropping them a lot. Yeah, and then as you hand them back, you do notice that while she is covered with these knives, these all look kind of like, they all look relatively the same. She does also have 2 very small daggers that look identical, but are pristine, unused, not beat up at all. So.
Do those daggers also look ornate, or do they just look...
They all... Sorry. Go ahead.
Basic, like something that I could buy at the...
These look very meticulously made, like custom. They look like custom pieces. they do look very flashy. So most likely, you're pretty sure she's basically like a busker. She's just a performer. But there is something about, she does have these 2 daggers that are exactly the same look, but different. They are different
Than her throwing knives.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, she just, like I said, she's not really wearing armor, but you think that maybe the puffy, leathery nature of her clothes might be because she's practicing with sharp knives all the time, or with these pointy objects that maybe she gets hit with. So she seems to be maybe either new or just not the best knife juggler in the world.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to ask Shiva, will you show us around the spider's catch? We're obviously new in town, but I'm looking for work. It sounds like this job looking for Hammond would be helpful, but I don't know where I'm going.
The last people that went looking for Hammond still haven't come back yet, but I suppose that means there's room free. I'm just kidding. There's always a room free. Yeah, come on. I'll show you. I'll introduce you to Antic. He's, like I said, he's my mentor, and she, like, does the winky thing again, which is just, like, yeah, she just keeps winking. Every time she says Antic, he's my mentor. She's like, yeah, great. And then she reaches out a hand as she's still juggling with 2 knives in the other hand.
I'm gonna look in my gold pouch. How much gold? I'd like to tip her.
Roll me.
Morgan, Cap, the player, doesn't know how much I can.
Roll me 2d10.
2d10.
2d10. Not a d100, but 2d10.
So both of those rolled 10s. You can come check them.
Nope, that's fine. You have 10 gold, 10 silver.
Okay. I'll give her 1 of my gold.
Thank you. And she has the coin in one hand. Let's see if she can pull this off. She makes it vanish. It's not fantastical. Like, you're aware that it is a sleight of hand, but it's effective. She does okay. So she makes the coin vanish, and then she makes another knife appear, and she goes, da-da-da-da-da, and juggles those 3 for a second, and then just, like, one by one, they all vanish. And she's like, yeah! All right, let's go. And then she kind of hops up and leads you into the inn.
I'm gonna look back at the kobold and say, "Are you going to follow us then? Are you looking for work too?"
Yeah. I'm still freaked
come
about
along.
the fact the little kid just touched. Ugh.
Go ahead and roll me a roll me a will save. Let's do that. So go ahead.
Which of us
9.
are you talking to?
A 9. Okay. Now go ahead and roll me 3d6.
Oh god. Oh, 2 1s.
Go ahead and re-roll your ones.
All right. 5 and a 1, so that's 9. I'm gonna reroll the last one, so that's 14.
14. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's a lot of 1s. Jesus.
Yeah, that could be terrible. So you rolled an 11. So you don't freak out, but you don't like being touched apparently. So that's something to know. Don't touch my face.
From her winking all the time, can I get a feel for?
You want to do an insight check?
Kind of, yeah. Is she like? What's with her and Antic? Is she into him?
Yeah, sure. Roll an insight check. That's int based, right?
I
Wisdom.
have no idea.
Is it wisdom based? Okay, good.
Okay, I already have my wisdom.
I already have your wisdom scroll.
That is a total of 9. I didn't roll very well that time.
That's fine. You're not sure. It's weird. It's definitely weird because she's making it very apparent that every time she says, like, he's my mentor, every time she says his name, Antic, he's my mentor, wink, 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 wink.
Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
that's
is
odd,
weirding me
but
out.
you can't really discern why it's odd.
I don't really pay attention to that because I don't really understand humanoids.
That's a fair point. All right, so she carries you. She picks you up and carries you into the.
Please don't touch me.
No, so she walks you over to the main door, and this is a large wooden door that is open. It's currently held open. Above the door, there is this large wooden placard that I have kind of drawn here, which probably is not the best drawing for right now, but we'll do it. I'll clean it up later. It is a big wooden sign. It has a picture of a spider on it, and on the back of the spider, there is a metal steel star, like a throwing star, attached to the top of it. And so that's the signage above the door. It also has the name The Spider's Catch written very eloquently underneath it. And then below that, on a small sign, it says, on a separate sign hanging from below, Adventurers Welcome. You make your way into the Spider's Catch, and as you go in, you do hear the cacophony of jovial laughing, of people playing cards, of drinks being clinked, and people singing. There's quite a bit of activity here. There's more people in here than you thought there would be for what it was outside. There are 2 barmaids running about, a tall elf, I guess it's a tall elf fellow, and a short dwarven woman running around getting drinks and food and bringing around. And then behind the bar, you see a very thin, pale-looking fellow wearing mostly black with his bar apron over the top. And on his belt, he has a very similar kind of cloth belt to the one that Shiva has, but hers is like leather and it looks new. His is old cloth, and he has 5 knives stacked in the front of that. Aside from that, he looks like a barkeep, kind of a dour barkeep.
Obsession with knives.
Yeah, you don't know. But he's wiping down glasses, and he's like, welcome, come in, sit down, sit wherever you like. And then Shiva waves at him, and she's like, oh, over here, these people have questions for you. And he kind of, go ahead and roll me a perception for both of you.
14.
8, so that's a 10.
10? Okay. You said 14?
14.
Once again, unfortunately, Guff does not understand people. The 14 will get you that Antig is not disturbed to see her, but he is kind of like, oh, good. a little annoyed, maybe. And he comes out from behind the bar. And where would you like to sit? You want to sit at the bar? You want to sit at a table? There are some dwarves playing cards. It seems like there's a few gnomes discussing some kind of plan, like they have a big piece of paper rolled out, and there's a tall man with them, and they're discussing.
Is there a free table?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few free tables. It's not packed, but it's lively.
I'm just gonna follow the half elf.
Sure.
Mara. I'm just gonna call you Mara.
Marinara and Guff.
I'm gonna go up to the bar then.
The new investigative duo.
This man doesn't seems like a surly barkeep, and I don't think he wants to come to one of the tables, so I'll go up to him.
Okay. So he starts coming around the bar. Like, he just kind of flips open the little half, I can't remember what it's called, but the half door on the bar. He comes walking through there, and he sits you down, and he kind of reaches over, and he pulls out some glasses. He's like, "What can I get you to drink? What can I get you to drink?" There we go. That was weird.
What are the wines in this area like?
Swill. We don't have a lot of, and he kind of thinks about it for a second. Yeah, we don't have a lot of grapes. There's some wines you can buy, and he like kind of points up onto one of the back shelves, and you see these like dark green kind of pearlescent bottles on the shelf. He's like, that kind of counts as wine, but yeah, I wouldn't drink it. Looks at the kobold, definitely wouldn't drink it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not really a fan of ales, so what else do you have?
I've got a few other things. I mean, I've got water. I've got a few spirits here. He basically gives you like a little drink list. Then, if there's something you'd want specifically, cool. If not, he just has a few lists of basically like meads, ales, a few different types of juices that sound kind of weird. They're like iceberry juice, or like boysenberry.
Can I read the menu at all?
There is no menu. It seems to be just whatever he's telling you there is. So.
Okay.
Are you asking, can you physically read the menu?
Can I physically read anything?
Let's find out. Okay, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
2.
A 2, okay. Go ahead and let's roll your int.
8.
No.
No, I cannot.
No, you cannot. You do see a handful of signages. So like he does have a few things. Some of the bottles are labeled. Normally I would say that they're written in Dwarven, but you don't know. You have no idea.
No idea.
No idea at all.
I cannot read in common at least.
Apparently, yeah, not in common. We'll see what languages you can know, but
Maybe Draconic.
yeah, just looking around, not on board so far. So
no idea what's going on.
so do you want a juice? Do you just want water? He does have wine. It's just not good.
I'll just take water.
Okay. Okay, yeah, he goes and he pours you, he says, okay. He looks to the kobold. And for you?
Something sweet.
Something sweet. Well, I can do that. Okay. And then as he's walking back around the bar, you see Shiva just like standing there, like boasting, like, I brought you customers. She doesn't actually say that, but that's what she looks like. And he stops and he looks at her and he says, all right, show me. And she goes, ha! And she whips out 4 knives and starts juggling. Oh, and she does a really, really good job. This is very impressive to both of you. She's just like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then halfway through, you see Antic just like move his hands back and forth real quick. And then he's holding all of the knives. And she's just like stunned and shocked because her knives just vanished. And he says, cool. And he sets them down on the counter and he reaches out his hands and he takes her gloves off. Like she lets him. She reaches her hands out, takes his gloves off, and then puts them back in her hands. And you see her kind of freeze for a second. She's going to try it again. And she drops them. She goes three or four juggles, and you can see her kind of panicking about it, and then they just clatter to the floor. He says, keep practicing. If you don't keep practicing, you're never going to be able to not wear these. And he puts the gloves back down the counter, kind of ruffles her hair, and then he goes back and he starts pouring your drinks. And you see Shiva kind of like, kind of embarrassed, kind of downtrodden, putting her gloves back on. So she seems to be some sort of, I guess I'll let you infer whatever she likes. But she kind of looks over at you and she smiles. She's like, you see that? Yeah, pretty good, huh? Yeah. Cheater.
You're asking me who cannot even discern human expression?
Yeah, I'll let you roll another insight check if you want.
Yeah, sure.
When
Natural 1.
You just start clapping. You're like, yeah!
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm like very confused.
Yeah, Goldtooth the Hobgoblin. Welcome to the membership.
Hobgoblin.
It's part of the
YouTube
membership program.
I see.
So thank you. I'll have to do more push-ups now.
When he took off her gloves, did it look like her hands were like full of cuts? Like she isn't actually as
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I didn't roll very well. This time was a 5.
5. You didn't see any. You didn't see any cuts. There was nothing like big and blatant on her hands.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of redirect back to Antic. It sounds like this is the place to stay in town. What are your rates?
That depends. How long are you staying?
It seems like I'm planning to stay for the foreseeable future.
Ah, okay. And he looks over at the Mr. Guff, Mrs. Guff. Looks over at Guff, and you, same room. Kind of looks you both.
Marina just looks at Guff and her eyebrows go really, really high.
Racist.
I'm gonna tilt my head.
You walk into a bar and somebody assumes that you're with the person next to you.
Well, you two walk into a bar with his apprentice, yeah.
I'm gonna play along and nod. I'm like, yeah, sure.
All right. I'm gonna roll an insight. Oh, let's figure it out. Oh, it's bad. Antic's bad at that. He's still like looking at you like, yeah, no, maybe, yeah.
I nod, like awkwardly.
I suppose we could split the costs.
Are you planning on working?
Yes. I'm also interested in looking at any job board you have.
All right, wonderful. So we'll say the adventurer's rate, which means I will give you the first week free. Yeah, that sounds very... You've never been to a tavern that's ever done that before.
Do I know how long is a week?
Can I insight check that?
Go
'Cause
ahead,
That
yes.
seems like Cap thinks I'm signing up for indentured servitude.
Your int is 8. I think you know what a week is. I think you're good.
Okay.
My insight check was a 21.
A 21. This is a ridiculously good deal. You would normally be paying 5 gold for a week somewhere. A nice place like this. This seems very well kept. But he seems legit. He seems like he's going to give you a room for a week for free. He points over to the job board and he says, "So here's how this works. I'm a member of the Adventurers Guild," and he points at the board. He says, "If you can complete one of these missions within a week, I will extend your now I can't think of words. Extend your stay. I'll give you 1 week to prove to me that you can be a valuable member towards the Adventurer Guild, and maybe you'll even get a membership to the Adventuring Guild. If not, the town benefits, I benefit, and we can go our separate ways if you don't. So for right now, at the end of that week's time, if you don't think adventuring is right for you, I'll start charging you 5 gold a week. That seem fair? And to you, that does seem fair, because that's kind of a normal rate. But he says that this is a trial membership, and if you choose to help out, check the board, we can have a great relationship here. And don't worry about the room." And he throws you a key, and then he throws you a key. He says, "It'll be here, and if you no longer need it, just let me know." And he points up to the upper floor, and you do see a stairway leading up, and there's a hallway. And you see people coming in and out of the hallway. Go ahead and both of you roll me an intelligence check.
I don't think I have an int score yet.
You don't? Go ahead.
3 minus 1 is 2.
-2. Seems like a legit hallway. You're good.
I rolled a 2 on the die.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me your intelligence.
A total of 9.
Total of 9. Yeah, it seems legit. You guys are good. It looks like a normal hallway to both of you.
So that would be a 1 for that roll.
That's fine. Yep. So your
My
intelligence
int score is 9.
We're having some good rolls. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So he gives you your drinks. You got a glass of water, and as you drink it, it's ice cold. I mean, ice cold. Like, this is the chilliest water you've ever drunk that didn't come out of like a mountain stream.
Makes my teeth ache.
Yeah, it makes your teeth hurt a little bit. As for your something sweet, he's given you a very nice ale. And in the ale, you taste like berries and a little bit of fruitiness to it. That's very, very sweet. And then a hint of salt kind of hits the back of your tongue that you're like, did I just eat a fish? I might have just eaten a fish. But it's good. It's surprisingly good.
I like fish.
He says, you're in luck. A taste of the sea. And you see a picture of where the barrel he got it out. It has a stamped picture of a bear holding a fish on it. So.
I was gonna ask, do I know what a bear is?
Roll me a nature check, I guess.
Survival?
So, yeah, survival. Roll me a wisdom.
Survival.
Roll me a wisdom.
18.
18?
Yes, I think.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, you know what a bear is. And I'm giving you proficiency in survival. You know what a bear is. You've seen a bear before. And you know what a fish is, so you're good. You even know the kind of fish that's on the barrel. You're like, yeah.
What is the fish?
It's some kind of, like, oceanic salmon. Yeah,
Nice.
So not a river fish. Taste of the sea.
Can't tell anything about humans, but I know everything about.
Everything about bears and fish. It's perfect.
For a normal kobold, this would be very, very useful. Avoid bears.
Avoid bears.
Avoid bears at all costs.
Morrow
My
Dune
teacher
said,
was a bear.
we're learning things about Guff all of a sudden. Morrow Dune, we will see you later. Thank you for stopping by.
That would be interesting. I'm a fucking bear totem barbarian suddenly.
Taught by bear. Done.
Is that lore now? Is that
It's
canon?
It's on your paper. Monk Bear Ale. Bri, you're closer than you think. It's not too bad. It's not too far off. Barrington Ale. All right. Okay, so basically, you two have the run of the spider's catch now. You do notice that both of your keys, as you look down, are numbered. So they are next door to each other. You can tell me what number they are if you want. Doesn't matter.
11.
Sure. Yeah, you got 11. More jump rope. You have 12.
Okay.
That's how that
Wouldn't
works.
those be across from each other?
Yes.
Maybe you don't know.
Okay. I guess I am. I want to ask Antic about what is on the board right now and what he would recommend for a start. Like, this is I'm gonna say like this is my first adventure. I think I want to do this, but what would you recommend for a beginner? I'm not looking to slay any dragons quite yet.
I would suggest not slaying some dragons right away. Antic looks around the room a little bit, and you see him. He's just he's still standing behind the bar, but he's just like looking across the room, which is maybe 20, 30 feet at the board. And he's like, well, I mean, I could have you go clear out the basement, but that seems a little too easy. He starts looking around. You can see him. He's reading each of the different flyers from about that far away. So he's just looking at him. He says, there's been some items going missing around town. That might be worth looking into. And Father Fordhill over at the church, he's always got some strange issues he's trying to get rid of. So you could probably check those out. Start seeing if you can figure out what's happening to all of these items. And then you see Shiva jump up. She's like, oh, can I help him? Can I do that? I want to help. And Antic looks at her and he says, do whatever you want. I'm just here to help you make sure you don't stab anybody with those things. The rest is up to you. And he just kind of goes back to wiping off the table. And she looks over at you two. And she smiles really big, like, ha-ha, and does a little hand gestures like, ta-da, even though she didn't do anything.
I'm gonna look at her and say, are you wanting to do this just for something to do, or do you need money too?
She kind of like looks down in her pockets and kind of rummages through. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna be a great adventurer someday. That's my whole goal here. I'm gonna be the best knife juggler anyone's ever seen. And then you see, go ahead and roll me perception.
Which one of us?
Both of you can. That's fine.
Okay.
22.
10.
10. Poor Guff doesn't know what's going on. You're enthralled by this fish ale that you've gotten.
I drink it greedily.
Marina, you see Antic kind of like glance back and kind of like shake his head, chuckling, just like, okay, yep, great job. So it seems like he's maybe slightly proud of her, but also like she's young, she's being silly. Yeah. So it looks like he seems very open to help adventurers, and he wants to make this a good place for people. And she's very young, and so he seems to have this, like, if you want to be a knife juggler, great, you're going to wear all the protective gear until you can do it properly. Okay. And so it seems like he might even be, he's giving you missions he thinks is very much something you can handle.
Okay.
But he might also be babying you a little bit. You don't know.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna look to Guff and say, are you interested in a job? Do you want to team up?
Yeah, if it involves food.
I think the end goal will be food, but
Yeah, I'm in then.
Roll me a Constitution save.
11.
11? Okay, let's roll your Constitution score.
It's gonna suck. Oh, that's pretty good actually. That's 14.
14? All right. Nice. Constitution 14. You're hungry, but you're not like starving. You're just like, yeah, I could eat right now. Pretty good stats so far. Did you roll as well?
I didn't know.
You don't
I was
have
asking.
to. You don't have to.
I will. My roll on the die was an 8.
Uh-oh.
My score was a 10.
Score was a 10.
Oh.
Okay. Well, you are hungry. You're very hungry. In fact,
I am a very physically fit cop. Dexterity 17, Constitution 14.
oh yeah, I forgot. We need to adjust some of that stuff. We'll do that at level 1. At level 1, we'll floop all your stats.
Yeah.
So I
I
guess
mean-
my stomach grumbles if I didn't make that Constitution check.
Well, like I said, you're hungry. You're not dying, but you're very hungry. So I would suggest maybe buying some food or
On second thought, perhaps food is not the end goal, but the first goal. And I'm gonna turn to Antic and say, do you serve food here, or is there some restaurant we should go to?
no, you can get food here. I don't provide it as part of the service. I can't have freeloaders living about, but I do offer it. And he kind of points over to a couple people eating. It looks like one of the dwarven woman is handing out like racks of meat and vegetables. And she's just bringing them around. Everyone's eating the same thing, so he does have food if you want to get it.
How much is 2 plates?
2 plates, 4 silver, and then
I'm gonna check my adventures back for money.
okay, roll me 2d10.
2d10.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. A 1 and a 9.
1 and 9. You have 1 gold and 9 silver.
I'm gonna pay my share.
Okay. Shiva also sits down. She's like, I could eat, and she pulls out that gold that you gave her. And slaps it on the table. And so he's like, all right.
I hope I'm capable of counting.
Yeah, with an 8 in, yeah, I think you're fine. You know how money works. Money's fine. If not, he gives you change. He doesn't try to rob you or anything. So, so we have Antic here. Antic the bartender. He's got some shaggy hair.
I'll pay my I'll pay 2 silver for my plate
Okay, that's fine.
to get rid of these grumbly stomachs.
Yeah, you're good. We find some good food. Let me see what else we got going on here. I think that's about it. We don't have all of your scores yet, so we can either run around town a little bit, or we can start an adventure, or we can talk more about your characters and have questions. What would you like to do? This is kind of an open-ended area. How's the YouTube chat? What do we got over here? I've got a beer, a full belly, and a D&D is going on. It's good. All right. As long as it's not Goblin Slayer, we're perfectly fine. Shiva's going to be a sword bard, isn't she? Maybe. You don't know. We don't know what's going to happen yet. But possibly. This is still kind of a weird moment of... we're somewhere in D&D, and I want to open it up to like 3.5 in Pathfinder. So this is going to be kind of fast and loose. And we'll see how it gets going, but...
Yeah, in D&D, kobolds only get a -2 to strength and +2 to dexterity, so they don't get that big minuses from like in Pathfinder.
Nah, that's fine. We can deal with that. Is that something? You know what we haven't done? I need you both to roll me perception checks.
Oh, fuck.
60 push-ups for later.
5 plus 2, 7.
13 plus 3 is 16.
Okay, great. You notice the bustling people charging around. You do notice now that the people in the bar are, some of them look like adventurers, but most of them look like just town folks. This seems to be a place that people come to hang out. Some of them seem like travelers. There's like one dragonborn off to the side wearing like a really big hat, and he's just
A dragonborn. Holy shit.
yeah. And he's just laughing. He's being very, very loud, but he's just laughing it up with a band of kind of a human, a dwarf. They're just telling jokes and eating and laughing. But he seems like he's traveling through. He's not dressed the same way as everybody else. So, yeah.
All right.
If I go up, well, I guess I'm ready to eat and probably head out to the church to start that job, but I do want to go to the board and see if I can tell how long these jobs have been posted,
Sure.
kind of with the goal to see, like, are there other adventurers in town actively doing these things, or Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Man, my kobold looks very draconic. I use my fire breath.
Yes. You want to attempt to do fire breath? Is that what you're saying?
No, not yet, at least. If I can actually breathe fire, I'll be impressed.
I want to try to breathe fire. Antic's like, hey, don't do that in here. What's going on? You gonna hawk something up? I don't need people coughing on. Okay.
No plague.
So
Can I actually attempt to breathe fire?
absolutely, yeah. Roll me a D100.
I'm not gonna do it here.
Oh, well, then you're not doing it yet.
Yeah,
Absolutely attempt. Absolutely attempt.
D100. Turns into a dragon.
It just turns into a dragon straight up.
Oh no! My disguise.
My wings.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the food, eat it, and I'm just gonna observe my new companion in crime or whatever.
Sure. So Marinara, Marino, you walk over to the board. This is a large wooden board. It's got lots of things posted to it. Some of them are like need help moving couch. We'll pay with chicken. But a lot of them are these like grand adventures. There is one that says that there is a white dragon terrorizing a city far to the north, and it has like a 20,000 gold reward on it. But there is also one that there is a lost horse. There is with pretty good reward on it, maybe about 200 gold. And it looks like a lot of people have taken that one. If you see a whole bunch of signatures scratched on it, and as you look, you kind of infer that if you're taking the adventuring challenge, you're scribbling your name on it, and that way people know that who else is trying to work with it. So there's that. There is the church. It says Father Forthill, Church of Sarenrae, Siltstone. So this apparently, they are all labeled where they are located. Apparently this is not the only place that would have a board like this. It's 100 gold reward. And
For the horse?
No, 200 golds for the horse. And like I said, lots of names scribbled on it. Father Forthill,
Are
Church
the
of...
names dated? Sorry.
Nope, they're not. Okay. They're not dated. Father Forthill, Church of Sarenrae, disturbance of grave sites. 100 gold. 100 gold settled, 5 gold protection is what it says. If you want to try to infer that, you can. If not, you can go talk to Father Forthill. It has like a little map drawn out, and from what you can tell, it's probably 10-minute walk, 20-minute walk across town. So the other ones, there are a few. The one that says, you remember the name Hammond, as someone had talked to you about, or Shiva had talked to you about Hammond. He had gone missing. You see eccentric dwarf missing, fortune up for grabs, and there's no monetary name on it. It just says fortune up for grabs, abandoned house, and there are dozens and dozens of names written on this paper, as well as names written next to it, like on the board. Like people ran out of room and have scrawled their names on it. And then as you keep looking at this, you realize most of the names are scratched out. 70% of the names are scratched out, which could mean that they gave up. It could mean that they died and someone came back and said didn't do it. Beast heard something about chicken. Beast want chicken. Yeah, and so and you start looking around, and so the same thing on the horse one, the 200 gold horse. A lot of them are scratched out, and you're not totally sure what that means, but that's kind of what you can get inferred from it. There is also missing items. This is City of Siltstone, City Hall, City Hall. Reward 50 gold, or information 10 gold about capture. So items missing, information wanted, basically is what it says. Do you want me to keep reading them off? I have more?
No.
Or does that answer your question?
I think it answers my question. Some of these have been here for apparently a long time.
Correct, yeah.
But it does look like a lot of adventurers are coming through. And is there one that looks like the paper is old but nobody has signed up for?
Ba, 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 ba. Bum, 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 bum. No. There is an old paper that says it's another one that says City of Siltstone. So you know it's from the City of Siltstone, like the town folk, city council, and it just says Monster Patrol, acquire City Hall, 10 gold a night. And it looks like nobody has signed it. And if someone did sign it, there's like one signature in the bottom corner, and it's just completely scratched out. Like someone was like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to sign this. That's my bad," and they erased their name basically. So that's, and then there, like I said, there's a couple others, but those all seem to be out of your league. There's one that says like the Thunder God's blessing, and you're not even really sure how to deal with what it's asking you to do. There's a wanted poster for what looks like a man who is already dead. And it has a 10,000 gold reward on it, and only 2 names have been signed on that page. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Guff and say...
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. There's also one that says monster parts required, request within, and then it's signed the arcane hammer.
Okay. Arcane hammer.
Arcane hammer, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to Guff and give him a basic description of the jobs I think we could do. It says that, and I guess the ones that I'm gonna tell you about are the church, has some sort of graveyard problem for 100 gold. There's some missing horse worth 200 gold, and that seems very strange, but a lot of people have tried and failed. And then I'll also tell you about like the city night watch one and the monster parts.
Are you being secretive about this?
Secretive about not telling him?
Are you whispering it, or are you just saying this out loud?
I'm just saying it.
Okay, so as you're saying this, Shiva's getting like really excited, and she's like pulling in closer, like, yeah, we could do that. No, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And as you're talking,
For every single one of them?
yeah, she's amped. She's like, yes, adventure, let's go. I like it. Antic turns around, he says, "Stay away from that horse," and he like locks eyes with you. Stay away from that horse.
What?
Stay away from that horse. And then he turns back around and starts.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Can I do that as well? I'm really confused.
Yeah, go for it.
13 total.
13 or 30?
13.
Okay.
Sorry, my accent is
No, that's fine.
coming out here.
21.
21. Both of you basically get you that he doesn't want you to look after that horse. It seems he seems very strict about this. Not like, oh God, don't do that. He's like, don't. Stop it. And he seems very adamant about it, as if maybe he might know more about it than he's leading on.
I guess
What?
my question in the insight check is that like sincere concern or some ulterior motive?
Gotcha. So does this seem like he's trying to threaten you off of it? No, this seems like concern.
Okay.
He's basically like, you're not ready. Don't do it. Stop it. Don't even think about that. That's not... Yeah.
I turn to Marmar and we could do the church one.
Okay.
Digging up graves. I'm really good at digging.
Oh, then let's do that one.
Really good at digging. Is that a bluff, or is that something you think about your character?
It's what I think. I used to be in a kobold clan and I was a digger.
Okay. Let's see.
I don't know if I was good at it.
Okay.
but I
Yeah,
used to
we can find that out later. That's fine. Used to dig. We won't make you roll for that just yet. We'll find out later. Okay. I did just realize though, you said you're really good at digging for the graveyard. Great. Okay. So that's
So, I guess I'll tell Shiva, like, will you lead us to the church? I think that's the job we're gonna do. You're welcome to come with us if you want.
Sure, Father Fortill's a nice guy. I like him. He always claps when I juggle, so I'm down for that. And she pulls out 2 more knives and she starts trying to juggle.
Okay.
Ooh, she drops them. She just straight up like throws them in all directions and like ding ding ding. Sorry. She starts picking them up.
I'm gonna try to pick them up.
Okay.
I'm gonna, like, can I try?
Sure. And she pulls out like 6 knives and offers them to you.
I'm gonna try 3.
You gonna try 3? Okay. Go ahead and do you want to try to do this as a dexterous act or a performance?
Dexterous. I don't have charisma.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you want to try to do this as like a performance, like I'm going to put on a juggling show, I'll let you roll for charisma. Or you can just use your dexterity and see if you can do it.
I'm gonna try dexterity at first.
Sure, go for it.
Oh shit, 19.
19? You're really good at
Total.
juggling. You're super good at juggling.
Yeah, this is kind of fun.
Which is actually, you should have added your sleight of hand to that. So yeah, you're pretty good at that. That's something.
Well, I'm
you're-
proficient, so
Yeah. So that would have been like a 21.
yeah,
Yeah.
21.
So you start juggling and you're like, and you're like throwing them really high and catching them. And Shiva's just like, oh, that is amazing. And she starts clapping and Antic's watching you. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. So you've kind of started impressing people around the room. And I saw a couple people start clapping.
I'd like to, while Guff's doing this, I'd like to watch to see how, basically, tell other people's reactions. Like, what are the people in the room doing? You said there was a group of gnomes and a group of dwarfs. Are they just like in here on their lunch break, or are they that old farmer guy who goes to the restaurant all day and
Yes.
is just retired and professionally drinks?
Yep. All of that is happening. It looks like there are some farmers that are just eating lunch. The group of gnomes and wizard are conversing with a plan, and as Guff begins to juggle, they'll kind of look over and like, oh, all right. I'm gonna have you roll a charisma check for that.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
No.
Okay.
Guff. I want Guff to roll a charisma check.
Okay.
You can roll me a perception roll.
19.
19. Okay. Go ahead and roll your charisma stats.
Oh god, it's gonna be god awful. That's a 1.
God.
I'm gonna reroll the 1.
My perception total was 19.
Okay.
So 11. I have 13.
13. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, so you start juggling up a storm, and then Shiva starts clapping, and she's like, "Oh, it's great!" And she like starts throwing more knives at you, and you're just like grabbing them out of the air and adding them to the juggling, and you're going to
God.
town. The gnomes kind of like tap the other gnome on the shoulder, like, "Look at that! That's crazy!" And everyone starts like, "Yeah!" and start clapping and cheering. Antic looks really impressed. Some of the farmers are like, "Oh, good, more jugglers."
What's going on?
Don't seem too
I
happy
just
about
wanted
it.
to try juggling.
One of the dwarves playing cards is like, it seems like his hand is down, like he already folded. He's just like, check out chuckling and smoking his pipe. He seems pretty happy about it. Everyone seems pretty jovial in this place. There doesn't seem to be any like ill
I'm
will.
gonna try to stop and catch them all without dropping them all.
Roll me another performance check.
Performance, oh shit. 15 plus 1, that's
Yeah, 16. Yeah, you do it. You successfully grab them all. You catch one in your teeth. And you're like, ha ha! And Shiva's just like super excited. She's just like clapping wildly. Antic says, "Okay, that's good enough." And he throws you another one of the ales.
Ah?
Got
I'm
it.
gonna drop all the knives now.
Shiva laughs and starts collecting the knives and just putting them back in her hidden spots in her coat. You see one like slide up her upper glove sleeve, and another one like goes in her
I've
belt.
never juggled before.
You're very good at it. You seem to be a natural. That's exciting. You might have to teach me a thing or two about it. And Antic chuckles.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Why did I roll just now? Well, what the hell? I guess this is good for those 2 or 3 natural ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you see it is. People are happy. There is a few people that are adventurers that are kind of like, that was impressive. And there's a few people that are more townsfolk, just eating lunch. You're in all, you guess there's probably 9 or 10 people that seem like they're adventurers that are staying here. Some of them do have like copies of the paper on the table. Like the dwarves have a copy of the dragon dragon paper, or the gnomes have a copy of the dragon paper, and that's what they're scribbling on. They're like trying to write out a plan to hunt a dragon.
How many gnomes are there?
There are 13. 13.
Is this like the Lord of the Rings or something?
Maybe. I don't know. 13 gnomes trying to kill a dragon in the north. Who knows?
How grey does the wizard look?
The wizard looks pretty gray.
All right. All right.
All they're missing is a thief.
Dun dun dun.
No, I'm gonna die. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the drink again.
Sure, yeah, it's still super good. Roll me a Constitution save.
Oh, fuck. So alcohol. Oh no. 11 plus 2, 13.
13? Yeah, you're fine. It doesn't bother you too much. It is alcoholic, but it's not making you lose your mind. Didn't affect your juggling at all.
I drew some scars on God's back of the neck, so I have scars on the back of my neck.
That's legit.
Marks, I guess.
Okay. Whoever's keeping track of my push-ups, I'm drawing a skull. I have to do it. Drawing a bird skull on Antic's neck.
All right.
Is this a choice or a boredom thing?
No, this is a choice. This is something that he has on him. But it's part of my push-up regime is I have to do push-ups every time I draw a skull. So, there we go. Let's get that out of the way. Antic is a anemic fellow. Okay. Yeah, so where are we at? So you want to go to the church for Father Forhill. You want to do that today. It is midday right now. You do have access to a room. Once again, you have a week to do a mission before you have to start paying for your rooms.
I think there's daylight burning, so let's get to it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm guessing you just head out as I'm drinking. So like, glug glug glug. And then I'm like, thanks, and just kind of like fumble the fucking cup on the counter or something, and just start running after Marmar.
Sure. As you start running out the door, you see Antics kind of like stop Shiva, and he whispers something to her, and they have like a really short conversation, and she nods. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I discern what they're talking about?
Sure. Roll perception for me.
Oh god. Natural 2 plus 2, 4.
Nope. So it's quiet. You're not sure what they're saying. But
Right.
Even with a 4, you see Shiva's basically listening. She's just like, he's giving her some kind of, I don't want to say a lecture, but it looks like advice. Yeah, he's saying a few things, and she's just listening intently. She's like, okay, yeah, got it. And then she turns to follow you, and then she meets you at the door. She's like, all right, we're doing this? Are we a team? Are we an adventuring party?
I guess so.
Hells yeah! Oh! And she pulls off her gloves and just throws them to the ground. She's like, let's go! she seems
I'm gonna
amped
look
up.
awkward at the gloves and just stand there like,
And she,
look around like,
she takes a few steps, and then she turns around and grabs the gloves and sticks them in her belt. And then she starts marching down the street.
As she walks ahead of me, I'm gonna like, oh shit, yeah, I took coke too. I start following.
Okay. Jump Rope, what are you doing? You following along?
Sure, yes, because we asked her to lead us to the church, because we don't know where that is. But on the way, I'm going to look, I want to keep an eye out for the arcane hammer
Sure.
door. That sounds like it would be fun.
Okay. So you are walking along, and on the main drag, sure enough, there is, you see the squeaky wheel on the right. I probably have to write all this down, otherwise it's gonna come back to me later, and I'm not gonna be like, I don't remember where that is. Down the road, you do see the bottomless bag.
Okay.
It has a picture of a bag and a potion, this is on a wooden sign. It says the bottomless bag. It's got a bag and a potion kind of scrawled on top of the bag. So it looks like it might be some sort of alchemical, magical item shop. You're not sure. Down the road a little more, there is Dirt and Sundries, is what it's called. And down below it says adventuring gear and gardening. There's a few more shops. It's like bakes and blades, adventuring gear and bakery. It seems like a lot of the places in this town have tried to tack on the adventuring store aspect to whatever it is they do. So probably more of a gardening store than a sundry store, as well as a bakery versus an adventure shop. But they might have stuff, you don't know. So there's little shops like that all over the place. If you want to go shopping for something or you need to pick something up before you go, you're welcome to ask. You make your way down towards a few more, looks like a blacksmith. There's a big foundry on one side of the road where they might be processing ore or minerals. There's a gem shop. Across the street from those, there is the Arcane Hammer, which does look like part metal shop. There's a blacksmith on one side of it, and then attached to it is a small shop. It does have a big mace, like a two-handed hammer that looks like a very large blacksmith hammer, and an anvil behind it with a glowing hammer on the emblem. So there's that, and you're just kind of passing by it. Doesn't seem like Shiva's going to stop unless you say something. So
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let's get to this church.
Okay. You start walking. As you are going along, you start leaving the industrial part, the shopping part of the city. You start seeing houses, really large, kind of like mansion-esque dwarven houses. Bri, thank you for the tip. Oh, that's more push-ups. 70 push-ups, yep. Checking out all the plants and hopefully helping the plants a little bit. That'd be pretty funny. You start making your way out of the industrial district, out of the shopping district. You start seeing these large mansion-esque family houses. It does look like each house has its own mine entrance, like its own mine shaft, its own area. A lot of these older houses were very much built to help a family live while they are mining materials. So old dwarven buildings, just kind of building right into the side of the mountains. As you continue upward, you are still going up the mountains towards the ice flow. And there is off in the distance a very large cathedral, a very large stone cathedral. Looks like it's well kept. There's a large graveyard on the outside, as well as just like a large opening with a clean field that maybe they have outdoor activities on. And the road just kind of leads to it eventually. It's off to the side. It's not like hidden up in the forest. It seems like a big staple to the town that it is here. There's a few people out front tending some of the bushes. The doors are open, and you are approaching this large temple to Sarenrae.
What do I know about Sarenrae or the gods in general in this world?
Roll me an intelligence check.
Is Sarenrae a popular goddess, I guess is my question.
Sure.
Rolled an 11.
You know the name.
Okay.
She's common. She's not eclectic in any way. She's very much, lots of people worship Sarenrae.
Okay.
Goddess of goodness. But yeah, you approach, you go in, you go around. What are you gonna do?
I guess I'm just gonna try and go in the front.
Okay. You head up the stairs, and Shiva is kind of there, and she kind of stops and lets you take point. And she says, "This is the entranceway. The graveyard's actually right over here." And she points off to the right, and sure enough, there's a very large cemetery attached to the side of the cathedral. I would say there's a gap. They're not like touching, but they are right next to each other. Big stone archways, metal fences all the way around the cemetery. Nothing looks disturbed that you can see. The cathedral itself is fully made out of wrought stone, white stone. Big wooden doors are open once again into the atrium, and it seems like there are people kind of going in and out every now and again. Not like a lot of people, but people coming to pray, people leaving. And standing at the top of the steps into the churchway is an old human man in like monk habit. And he's just waving to people as they go. And he says, "Thank you. Have a wonderful day." And he's standing next to a little pulpit, or a little tiny desk, I suppose. It looks like a font. Font's the word I'm looking for. He's standing next to a little font. and he's blessing people as they go by and thanking them for their patronage. Sometimes people will walk by and like give him 2 or 3 gold, and he puts it in a small box next to the font, and he thanks them, and they go on their way, and he's just standing up there.
I'm gonna go up to him and say, Father Forthill, I presume.
Yes, my name is Father Forthill. I'm surprised that you know me. Welcome to my church. And then Shiva runs up. She's like, "Hello, Father. How are you?" And he's like, Shiva, how is your juggling going today? You're not wearing your gloves." And she says, "I don't need them anymore." And she pulls out 3 knives and starts juggling them. She does pretty good. She's just continuing her juggling. And he says, wonderful, wonderful. What can I do for you today?
There was a flyer down at the Spider's Catch that said you had some work that needs to be done up here.
I see. Yes, I have. I've had that posted for a little while. I've had a few people come by and stay at night to watch, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Recently, we've had people coming through and knocking over headstones and disturbing some of the graves. I don't believe anything's been stolen as of yet, but I am worried about grave robbers, and we have quite a few respectable old families that have their loved ones buried here, and I'd like to make sure they stay safe. There's a few mausoleums that seem to be being disturbed, and I was hoping that either you could stay, and I'd be willing to pay. I can pay a small amount for you to watch over at night. And he looks over at Shiva and he says, I see, you're becoming an adventurer now. That's very exciting. This should be a fine job for you, I believe. Just scare off anybody that shows up, and if you do end up catching somebody, then if we can put this to rest, I'd be very happy to pay.
Okay.
So you don't need us to be back here until later tonight, then?
Oh no. I mean, you're welcome to stay and pray if you like, or venture through the cemetery now if you'd like. There's no locks, which I know is kind of strange, but we are, an open area. But that's why I'd like you to just stay around, be present, and here. And he reaches over and he pulls out a flask from his. He has got a small pouch on his back, and he hands out to each of you a small healing potion. And he says, take this with my blessing, and please just keep us safe, and we'll be very happy. So yes, throughout the night, please watch over the cemetery, and that's it. That's really the whole mission. So this is a small healing potion. So this is a D4 healing potion.
I'm gonna shuffle through my bag once again. Yeah, I don't know, discover anything, but I'm gonna put it somewhere in the bag.
Okay, you're gonna dig through your bag and look through it. You don't see any other potions in your bag, so, okay. But you do find a little spot that looks like it's meant for holding potions.
I'm gonna ask him, Father, is there anywhere in particular in the graveyard that has had more disturbances? Like, is somebody coming back and disturbing the same place over and over again? Or is it just random?
Terry the Butcher. Well, let me show you. And he kind of looks over at one of the monks and he says, could you please? And the man seems to know what he's talking about, stands up, comes over and stands by the font. And he says, please come with me. And he ushers you towards the cemetery. Shiva just jumps down and follows him. And the other gentleman is just now taking his spot. So someone's watching the church, and he's taking you to the cemetery. You walk through the iron gates. The cemetery is very nice, well kept. You do see a few people praying by gravestones, and there are a few statues throughout the church, or through the cemetery. And then there are a handful of mausoleums that look very well built, most likely built by rich dwarven families. He takes you by a few. You see a few headstones are being like replaced. Looks like they might have been knocked over. And there are a few graves that have been somewhat upturned. Not like dug out, but just upturned. And he's like, I'm not sure. We thought originally it was maybe a jackal or someone just digging for bones. But well, it's been getting more frequent and more... it's spreading about. We do see that this right here, and he eventually... about maybe a 5-10 minute walk from the gate, so a little ways back, there is a dark mausoleum. I hope I'm using the right term. Mausoleum, is that right? Crypt? It's a little tiny building.
I think
I
those
know
are
what
called
you mean.
mausoleums.
I think it's a mausoleum. The small stone building.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And he points and shows it to you, and he says, "This was one of our older mausoleums, and it was paid for by an old dwarven family, and they paid up front, and it's been here for well over 100 years." But Death Cottage, yes, thank you, not. It is a death cottage. It's been here for well over 100 years. And about 3 months back, the money they had gifted us to take care of it ran out. They had their own personal caretaker paid for, and that person is now gone. And so we've been trying to take care of it as we see fit, but beyond them not having a guard, it seems like someone is specifically targeting this building. Every night the door is either the door has been broken once, which we have repaired. There seems to be some disturbances around the things, or the gravestones around this building. But we've had a few people stay and look, and they haven't seen anything, so we're not sure what it is. But this seems to be the localized area. I don't know if it's a family member who's maybe upset, and now that there's no longer a guard here, that they're seeking revenge, or possibly there's a treasure about. There are quite a few people in town that are just out looking for treasure, and if they believe that there's something here, that might be another case. We've seen things like that before, but yes. So this is it.
I'm gonna skulk around a bit and look for any evidence of
Okay.
if it's Koval doing.
Sure.
It's probably not, but
Roll me a survival check. Looking for footprints.
oh yeah, I'm proficient in that.
You're proficient, yeah.
19 total. That's pretty good.
19 total, not bad. It looks like there's a lot of footwork here. Most of it looks fairly fresh, like someone had repaired something. So everything's kind of matted down and trampled. And like you see, one of the gravestones has been reset because it was knocked over. The door itself has been swept away. So it looks pretty clean, is unfortunately the answer.
Interesting.
When the door was broken, what was it made of before, and what is it made of now?
And he points at the door, and it's a stone slab door, so it's heavy. He says, "I suspect that someone was trying to see what was in it," and he points at what looks like a chipped stone, where someone might have put a crowbar and pried the door open.
Okay.
In the process, it broke the hinges, and we've since repaired that, but it hasn't been broken into since. So.
And you said it was a family tomb. Is there a name involved with that, or?
He points up and he says, "No, I mean this. As I said, this is one of the older mausoleums." And he points out, and there are sure enough, there's 3 or 4 other mausoleums that are similar in make. Each of these are of great dwarven families that helped found the town. But this one was erected quite a long time ago, and we did not have a name. We had simply a dowry or a down payment to maintain it, and we did. We did for many, many years. The church, even my predecessors, or is that right? Yeah, predecessors took care of it, and it was just part of the church. But the amount of money has run out, and we can no longer give it special attention as it was before, and it has now just become part of the cemetery, as is. So there's no name attached.
And no, I assume if there's no name, nobody's been buried here in the past. Like you haven't.
Correct. Yes.
Because usually mausoleums you add to them.
That is correct. Yes, we're unsure of the lineage, and so we assume it is an old dwarven family that has since ended, if that makes sense. Which could explain why it was paid for so longly in advance, if the lineage itself is gone.
Okay. And you said this one was different than all of the other mausoleums?
It's older by... It must have been one of the first, so long before we kept proper name records. Most likely one of the older families. Each dwarven family has a story in saying that their ancestors are buried there, and there's little arguments throughout town about who really owns it, but no one's willing to pay any more money to keep it well kept, so we don't know How true that is.
Okay. Is there anything like, if we're going to be staying here at night, is there any specific thing that we need to go get ourselves, or anything that you'll provide, like
Well, I've given you.
lantern?
I could get you a lantern from one of the gardeners, and he kind of waves over, and you see a small gnomish man stand up, and he's kind of portly, and he's got overalls, and he walks up, and he's like, "You need a lantern? I'll go get one." And he kind of waddles off.
Those damn gnomes.
You do see a small like wood shed kind of off to the side outside of the cemetery, and he's walking that direction. do you have a hatred for gnomes now? Is that what's going on?
All kobolds hate gnomes.
All kobolds hate gnomes. All right, cool. Good to know. I'll write that down.
It's a racial thing because the god trapped the kobold god somewhere. I don't know, or tricked. Not sure. I don't remember anymore. You can ask Goldtooth about it.
I will ask Goldtooth about that definitely later. Okay, so Father Forthill, he gave you the potions. He's like, I hope that keeps your fortitude up throughout the night. These are not full healing potions, but they are apparently, they'll revitalize you a little bit. And if you need more of those, please let me know. I can always procure more. And
I guess I'd basically want to, with Guff and Shiva, spend the rest of the afternoon looking around the graveyard and sort of like planning where we want to be, or do we want to set up camp, or do we want to like split up and watch from two directions? Because if somebody's coming in here, I mean, if nothing happens, we get 10 gold, and that's great. But if somebody's coming in here, we have to be able to catch them. We have to be able to find them, and then we have to be able to catch them.
Father Forthill has a look of kind of terror on his face. He's like, oh, I didn't think about that. Will you two be able to apprehend such a foe? And he kind of like looks over at the kobold, looks over at Shiva, looks over at the half-elf.
Yeah, we're all really small.
You're all very small. What would you like to do to persuade his fears? Persuade?
I am a fearsome kobold, and I shall defeat all of my foes.
Are you just gonna say that?
Yes, I'm going to say that out of blue.
Roll me an intimidate.
Intimidate? Oh shit.
Are you flexing?
12.
Are you throwing something? I guess you do have a greatsword.
Well, I do have a great sword. I'm like, I kind of like, can I even use it? That's the good question.
Do you want to find out?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
Oh shit. 15.
13? Okay.
Yeah.
Now roll me your strength stat.
Oh god, it's gonna be so bad. It's a 10.
That's not terrible. You rolled a 13, so yeah, you can definitely carry the greatsword. It's heavy. It's very heavy for you. But you pick it up and you're like, yeah! And you swing it at anything? Or are you just holding it like He-Man style in the air?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I have a total of 8 strength now because -2.
So you're holding this greatsword up in the air, and it's kind of wobbly, and he's like, but you did roll a 13 on your intimidate, and so he's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, I don't want to think less of you, and he kind of pats Shiva on the head, which once again, Shiva is very short, and so he pats her on the head, and she kind of like, kind of grums at him, and he's like, oh right, no, you're all adventurers now, I understand this, okay, and he looks to you because you haven't said anything.
Well, I'm gonna say... Sorry, I'm trying to think of something suddenly on the spot. We will try to stop them if we can, but even just being able to figure out who it is would be helpful to you. So, should it come to it, know that we would certainly fall back if we need to.
Okay, wonderful. I do live on the opposite side of the cathedral. I have a small cottage over there. The town's guard are unfortunately several minutes away, and they charge an exorbitant amount of fees to to post a guard here, which is the previous arrangement for the mausoleum was paying for a studious guard, which is no longer there. So unfortunately, I'm afraid that if someone does show up and you don't feel that you can take them, please do not lose any life or limb over my endeavor here. So he seems to be okay with you kind of not being able to take care of somebody. But
I am very weak.
that's something maybe we'll have to work out. We'll see what happens.
Damn it, I want to use my great sword, damn it.
Okay.
I have +1 to hit with it.
So we'll go with that. And Shiva's basically like, yeah, we can take it. And she flips a knife in the air. She flips it into the air, and she throws it super, super high, like up so high that you guys can't see where it goes. And she says, we're gonna be great adventurers! And then the knife just like thunk, sticks in the ground next to her, like she wasn't expecting it to come down quite as fast. And she looks at both of you, and she does cast her bardic performance, so you both get a D4 of inspiration, which I will allow you to retain until you use it or you get a new one. And she just kind of like, ha-ha, and picks up the dagger and sticks it back in her belt.
All right.
So Shiva is a bard, and I'm excited for it, and we'll see what happens. But there you go. So, from what it sounds like, Jonas, you are a barbarian. Is that what you intend?
I could be.
You could be. I mean, you could be, or you could be a fighter.
I would be the worst barbarian in the universe, but yeah, let's go.
I think you're pushing that way, but that's fine. Jump rope. I don't know if we have what you are yet. You have not rolled.
I'm not really sure. I still have half of my stats not rolled. I've only rolled my constitution, my wisdom, and my intelligence.
Is there anything else you'd like to do before we go to night?
Basically, Jonas, do you want our characters to all camp out together in the same spot, or are we taking up, like, you go to that corner and I'll go to this corner and we'll
Well, I have dark
both look
vision,
inwards?
so
I also do have some dark vision, being a half-elf.
I should remember. Yeah, I'm not gonna be a great fighter during the day because what was it?
It's a little bright.
Yeah, it's a bit too bright for me. My eyes.
Okay.
If there's, yeah, I think we're gonna go to. I don't know. I'm tempted by the both of them.
Okay. Well, think about that.
I think we should work together because teamwork is always
The path to success. Also, I have pack tactics, so I kind of need a teammate.
Certainly. Okay. And then do we... I guess since we have dark vision, we don't really need the lantern, so we can try and be sneaky.
You say this as someone suggested a name, which I hope maybe that's what it was used for. Gnarl Glittergold? What is Gnarl Glittergold? Is that the name of the
gnome god, I think.
The gnome god? Carl Glittergold, the small gnome groundskeeper, waddles up to you with a lantern, and as you say this, he goes, and he just turns around and starts waddling back towards the shed. And Father Forthill like, sorry.
Well, no. Can I take it from Carl and thank him? Yeah, because we could use it as bait.
All right, that's fine with me. And he hands you the lantern. And just
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And he bows and heads back to his shrubbery that he was clipping.
Oh man, we're so mean.
I wrote that on the wrong page. Okay, so you guys are going to wait until tonight? Is there anything... If I do come up with an NPC and I don't say the name, feel free in the chat to drop a name that you think would be funny to use or good to use, and I will try to pick from them.
I guess I just want to go through my pack and make sure that we have, I think I would have some rope in an adventuring pack. So if we subdue somebody, we can tie them up.
Okay, that's fine. I think this is a good place to pause. I'm going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we will jump to tonight, unless there's anything you two want to do beforehand.
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Same.
Yeah, let's take a quick break real quick. So I'm going to jump this over to the Be Right Back sign. And we will be right back.
Okay.
I don't think that's a proper number of push-ups that I'm supposed to be doing. Do we have a running total, though? I think I'm at 75 now.
Yep.
We're getting some drinks. I'm really bummed that GIF is not animated. I really wanted that to be animated.
I'm surprised how well this is going.
Oh, this is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I think what we'll do is there's going to be a little bit. We'll see if you guys survive the next part, if something happens, because we don't know. And then we'll look at our characters. Probably do like a little after show with the Discord to see how they liked it. And then next week we can actually do the artwork for these characters if they survive. I think that'll be fun.
I'm loving great so +1 to hit, you know. -1 damage.
Oh no. We can figure that out. We'll see what happens.
I'm thinking of like just spinning my body wildly midair, using my weight to its advantage just to deal damage.
Who knows? You might be a wizard. We don't know yet.
Oh god. I would be the worst wizard in the universe. 18.
That is born, yeah.
I cast fireball. I
Maybe a
missed.
sorcerer.
I'm not even that good of a sorcerer.
Fireball. Animation.
Unless sorcerers work with dexterity, but
Let's try that one.
A rogue with a great sword. I just sneak up behind them and chop them in half.
it has to be a finesse weapon. That's the issue.
Gold. Well, that's if we're using D&D rules. Do you know if we're using D&D rules?
Dun
dun. All right.
I mean, I could be a rogue.
I mean, we're like I said, fast and loose. I think we might stick with Pathfinder just because it's a little more open, but we'll worry about that later. Goldtooth, yes. Okay. So Bri just texted something in the chat and it updated the icon, but it's still not animated. And that's bumming me out. So maybe they aren't supposed to be animated GIFs. And if so, I will have to change that. But
yeah.
Da 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 da.
No one has died, the city guard hasn't been called, and no one has burned a building down. Mostly we suspect Goff has killed someone to get his back.
Maybe.
You don't know.
You guys could have tried to fight Antic. That was an option. There were only, the Fellowship of the Ring in there and some other people. Probably.
Yeah, level 20 wizard in there.
Pretty dope wizard. All right, we all ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Sounds like sound is there. What is the?
So for the past
emojis?
afternoon, I've been practicing to use the greatsword somehow efficiently that I
Okay.
know I can.
Sure.
Like, how could I use this?
If you want to spend the afternoon doing that, I will say that I will give you proficiency with a greatsword. We'll give you that. 1 day of practice. I am, however, you are still not proficient with it to the point that you are going to take some negatives because it's a big sword. So, yeah. So currently, I think you have +1 right now. Actually, you don't because you're a level 0 character.
Yes, I don't have it. Yeah, good.
So
no
right now,
That's
I'm going to give you
-1 currently.
So I'm going to give you a -3 altogether.
Oh, God.
But it is a great sword, so I'm going to give you a 10 to damage. A D10.
Plus just flat. Oh, D10.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we'll do that. We'll see what happens. I think let's look that up. Actually, what's a good great sword? Is that a 2d6?
For medium creatures it's 2d6. For my size it'd be
1 day proficient for not cutting your hand off. Yeah.
I think we said that it was a great sword you got from a human, though. So
It is,
wouldn't
yes,
be
I stole it from a
great
human.
sword.
So it is
It's-
2d6. It is a 2d6 at a 1920 critical, and that will come into play. So 1920. Remember that. I will write that down.
1920. Oh shit. I
Yeah.
remember.
So this, because I'm using the Pathfinder rules, I am going to use the Pathfinder rules. So there are advanced crit ranges, but I'm not going to make you confirm your crits because it slows the game down too much. So I'm just going to say right now, if you roll a 19 or a 20, it's a crit. And we're just going to double all the dice for crits.
Let me add in. I can win.
Are we putting the waiting animation back?
I'm still typing some stuff up, so give me 1 second.
Okay.
I guess I could flip it back. Whoop. I should have drawn more while we were gone. That's fine. We got a list of characters. We got a list of characters. I love it. Okay. So you have a great sword.
Yes.
And
I'm guessing we're gonna lead to Pathfinder because that would be cool. I wanna learn Pathfinder.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I'm gonna keep inspiration from 5th edition. I'm gonna keep a lot of the abilities. So if there's a cool, like you said, pack tactics, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think we can build the characters that way. I'm gonna use a lot of mathematics from Pathfinder because I'm more familiar with it. That's really.
Do you know what that does? I hope you do.
If I remember right, you get like a bonus attack when someone else attacks.
If I have an ally next to me and attacking an enemy, I get advantage.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm fine with the advantage. I think that's fine too. I like the advantage.
It's mainly to cancel out the daytime disadvantage.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I think that's fair.
Makes sense.
So the way I'm going to look at it is anytime in D&D, if something would give you advantage, basically with Pathfinder, you'd get like a +4. So those two things are kind of going to be back and forthy, just depending on, as long as you have an ally fighting, you get advantage on attack rolls. I think that's fine. I totally think that's fine. So if you want to roll with advantage for your character, we'll do that. And then if I ever say something like, okay, you get advantage, I'll let you decide if you want to advantage or +4. I think that's kind of a cool way to balance it out.
I probably have a higher chance to hit with the advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good way to do it. So we'll advance now to the night. You are not high up in the mountains, but you are high into the...
Is it cold? Oh no.
It's cold. It's not like frigid. It's cold though. It's uncomfortable a little bit. You're getting kind of chilly. I will have you both roll Constitution saves as you're doing this. As the night rolls in, there's a little bit of mist kind of coming off the ice flow. The ice flow is a river that is flowing down from the... I like how I forget my own my own made up names. Iron Deep? Is that what I called the mountains? Yes, the Iron Deep. There we go. So the ice flow is a very, very cold river that comes down from the top of the Iron Deep mountains, which are at the very peaks white all year round, frozen, coming down from the north into the river to the west. So the chill kind of comes off the mountains down the hills, and you get a little bit of misty night happening. And what'd you guys roll? You rolled a 19, you said? For your Constitution?
Who?
Both of you. What'd you roll?
Oh,
I rolled a 16.
Okay.
6 plus 2 is 8.
8. Okay. You are chilled. You're shivering a little bit. You're like, oh.
I'm also cold-blooded, so...
Yeah. So you're not having a great time.
Please hug me.
Shiva's like Shiva. You see her now, like she has all this leather stuff on. At some point during the day, she pulled a cloak, like a big furry coat, out of her bag, and she's just like, okay, and she just kind of like grabs you and wraps the coat around you. Now you're both just kind of shivering. So I'll say because of that, you do not incur a -1 going forward. But you are both just shivering together, like, it's cold.
I'm for the will save because I don't like being touched.
That's fine. Make a will save.
16 plus 2 is 18.
You have the choice to be touched or take a -1. That's your choice.
I'm gonna allow it because I don't like.
That's fine. You rolled high enough to allow it, so I think that's good. I'm gonna give her a coat right now. Okay, so you decided to split up, or you decided to...
Together.
We decided to be together. I would like to take the lantern and light it and put it kind of opposite of the door, because I think that we've set up camp so that we can be watching the door to this mausoleum.
Opposite the door...
And then
What does opposite the door mean on a small building? It's just out in the middle of nowhere?
I would like to be 30 feet away from the door to this mausoleum. And then off to one angle. And I'd like to have the lantern mirrored. So it's 30 feet away, but off to the,
So you're creating a triangle.
Yeah.
Okay. Equidistance from each other. Got it. Goldtooth does say that kobolds are warm-blooded because they're humanoid. I think possibly Guff thinks he's cold-blooded. If Guff,
I think I am.
Is Guff Guff a dude, or do we know that yet?
No, you don't.
We don't know that yet. Okay,
either.
Guff doesn't know that. Guff thinks Guff is a
Guff is Guff.
Guff is Guff.
Guff
possibly thinks they're cold-blooded. There we go. Very cold kobold right now. Okay, so you have the torch sitting out. You don't have any light near you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We are. Guff and I both have dark vision, though.
Okay. About 3 hours have passed. Go ahead and roll me perception checks.
16 total.
Nice team.
22 total.
16 and 22. Okay. Yeah, about 3 hours into the night, you're kind of chilly.
Apparently, perception checks are the only thing Marina is okay doing.
That's good to know.
Good old Marmar.
Yeah, marinara. Here we go. you notice as you're sitting here watching the lamp and kind of looking about. You see a few birds. You see a few a fox will run by every now and again, and then about 3 hours into the night, the mausoleum door shifts ever so slightly. Just you hear the shifting of stone, and then. Looking at this, you see an eye, a yellow glowing eye, kind of look out from the mausoleum. And there's quiet, and it vanishes. And with a 22, you hear... And I need both of you to roll me a D100.
80.
Do you know Goblin?
Sure.
Okay. What did you roll?
It's a
I rolled a 70.
70? You do not get the opportunity to ask.
Okay.
So you surprisingly understand this. You hear, hey, someone put a torch outside. A torch? That's weird. Where'd that come from? I don't know. Put it out. Okay. And sure enough, they don't see you. By the way, they push the door open a little more, and you see a goblin's head poke out, and it looks...
can I hide? We'll try to hide?
Yeah, I mean, you three are technically just sitting in the dark, I assume, by a stone statue or something.
I'd
Yeah.
also like to roll a stealth roll, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Same.
Roll me stealth.
But I need to roll my dexterity
Great.
for that.
Let's do it.
On the dice, I got a 12.
Good. Does this goblin wear a face mask with a smile on it? No, I don't think so. I think it's just a regular goblin. He's got his messed hair, and he's got some war paint.
So I have a +1 for a total of 13.
Okay. Wait, why do you have a +1? Oh, because you're in.
Because I just rolled my dexterity. My dexterity is 12.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna roll stealth as well then. 6 plus 3 is 9.
Okay, you're in luck. He rolled a 7 on his perception check. Rolling that one. First roll of the game. Good to go. That's why I was laughing earlier. But so he looks out. He looks about. He's like, oops. And then you see him take a few steps. And now you see that this goblin is wearing fairly nice leather, like a leather jerkin, and really fancy pants that are much too big for him and are like tattered at the knee just because he's been running around in them and they've shredded. You see him take a few steps. He looks both directions, and then he hop. Smashes the lamp, and it just kind of like breaks and falls to the ground. And he stomps on the fire, and he's just like, okay, it's gone. And then now
I'm gonna whisper to Guff. I didn't think it would be goblins. Somehow I did not think it would be goblins. Do you want to take them? Do you think we can do this?
I think so.
goblins.
I whisper back in fear.
I guess I don't know what they said. I just saw a goblin run out and smash something.
That is true. Shiva says, "Goblins? What the hell are goblins doing here?" And then 2 more goblins poke their heads out of the lamp, and they aren't really looking towards the lamp. They come out looking towards the lamp. Is that it? Did the skeleton put it there? I don't think so. Okay, all right, let's go. And you see them now kind of like quickly tiptoeing towards the front gate of the cemetery. What would you do?
Do we care that it's goblins, or do we just want to stop them? We could go and close the mausoleum doors and try and just keep them from coming back, or we could track them down to see what they're doing, or we could murder them.
Murder?
Could be.
Shiva says, looking kind of concerned.
Well, is it murder if they're goblins?
I don't know. What was the job again?
What are we doing? I thought we were just supposed to watch.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to watch or something, not fight anything. What did you say
We were
about?
supposed to stop them from vandalizing the graveyard, which they haven't, but they are definitely the ones who are opening up this door. And I don't think that they're supposed to be in that mausoleum.
At this point, they are probably 100 feet away from you, and you see them like they're darting from gravestone to gravestone, and just like running to another one, and like hopping and jumping, and they're on their way to the gate.
But they aren't like goofing around and breaking stuff. It's not them who's doing it.
Not apparently, no.
Okay. I think then I'm gonna whisper, I think we should just
Or they haven't
stay
broken
and
anything
watch.
yet.
If they aren't the vandals, maybe there's more going on here.
We could set up a trap, maybe. I don't know.
We could set up a trap. I assume they're gonna try and come back, and I don't think the father wants the mausoleum full of goblins. We could just try and close the door and barricade it.
You
so
gonna
that
go?
they-
Okay. Sorry.
Or we could just sit and watch. What do you want to do?
Well, I
Or
was
we could
thinking
follow them, I guess, is the third idea I have.
maybe we could close the door and follow them.
Okay.
What was your perception or your wisdom?
My
16?
wisdom is 16.
Okay. As you say this, you hear a rumbling, like something shifting and kind of burbling in the earth, maybe 6 feet from you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to look at that and try and pay attention to where that is. What's going on?
You see,
Do I see Marmar turning her head?
you do, yeah. And at this point, since you're bundled up with Sheba, both of you kind of like poke your heads up and look around. You see a small bit of dirt kind of being unearthed by one of the gravestones next to you.
I'm going to. That seems strange. I'm going to ready my crossbow because I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna watch.
Shiva says, "Is it a gopher?"
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stand up and go investigate this moving earth. Maybe it is gopher.
Okay.
Should I?
That would
I'm
be
gonna
an
follow you.
awful problem to have as a graveyard.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you, by the way. I'm
Okay.
gonna leave the safety of the warmth and just follow you, just in case.
I love the goblin.
That's all you saw in the darkness. He's just grumpy-faced goblin with paint.
River spots.
He's got paint. He's got war paint on.
So, what the fuck do we find? Is
I'm
it a
gonna go
gopher?
over to the dirt and start
Is it the skeleton?
waiting, poking around, waiting to see what comes up.
Do you actually poke around?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to get bit by a gopher.
About 20 seconds go by, and you see this little pile of dirt just kind of shifting more. A crack kind of appears in the dirt.
I'm gonna. A crack appears in the dirt.
Like something underneath shifts, and it just kind of like...
Do we want to be right on top of this when it comes up? It seems like something's trying to get up.
Put a rock on it, Shiva says. She starts looking around, like trying to find something to cover it.
I'm gonna take a step back and feel the ground with my intuitive kobold powers and see if I can feel something underneath the ground.
Roll me a
Can I-
survival check.
can I-
Yeah.
Can I determine what it is? Okay, survival.
Well, do you want to try to determine what it is, or do you just want to perceive what it is? I'll let you decide.
I'll perceive what it is.
Okay.
That's a 4 plus 4. It's 8.
8. Something big, something maybe large is trying to dig underneath you, or is digging underneath you.
It's something big.
I'm gonna give her some face paint.
I don't know what it is though.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay. She
Uh,
she was like looks a little panicked now. Both of you realize this. She's like hopping around like okay. And she pulls out one of the real daggers from her belt. She's like, okay, remember my training. What do I do? And she like flips the knife in her hand. She's just like, no, not that, not right now. And she's kind of panicking.
can I look around us and see if this is something that like tunneled in, or is it coming straight up? Does that make sense?
There's
Like,
no
is
way you'd
this
be able
the-
to know that.
Okay, this isn't like the Bugs Bunny tunnel that you can just see the earth.
Okay, no, I'll give you that. You do not see any other disturbances. It seems like it's just
Okay.
kind of like kind of popping up. It is next to a gravestone, and as you're looking around, you've listened to the ground, and you're like, where? And you're looking around for these other bumps. You're like, no, it must be right there. And then all of a sudden, a skeletal hand just comes jutting out from the dirt, displacing dirt and rock everywhere. I need all of you to roll me a reflex save.
Reflex? What is that?
Dexterity. It's a dexterity saving throw.
save.
So just roll me a dex.
5 plus 3, 8.
Plus 3, 8. Okay. So you basically fall on your ass. You're like, and I say you fall on your ass as
My
Shiva.
tail.
Shiva just lunges out from beside you, and you were in her coat. She just like shoves you out of the way. What did you roll?
19.
19.
Total.
You kind of jump, are startled by it, but you're like, oh, and you back away from the hand. Nothing happens to you, and you see Shiva once again dart past you. You are able to dodge her, and she grabs the tombstone that is above this and just pulls it over and knocks it over on the hand and goes, poof, and everything goes quiet. She's like, did I get it? And she starts looking around. What do you want to do?
I don't think we were supposed to be the vandals, but perhaps. And I'm gonna try and.
She looks really ashamed. She's like, oh, sorry.
I'm gonna try and pick up the tombstone and put it back. One, to check if the hand is like actually smashed. But two, to just try and fix this.
So you're just going to pick up the tombstone straight? Like just, are you going to peek it? Are you going to try to lift it up? What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and peek under it. I'm just gonna try and.
Okay, roll me a strength check.
Hey, Mr. Bonesaw, what are you doing?
I haven't rolled my strength yet.
Go for it.
Okay. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
And
So go ahead and roll your strength anyways.
I rolled a 10 for my strength.
Okay. You can't lift it. It looks like it was easy enough to like just grab in a moment of fervor and like knock it over, but you're like, oh, you can't pick it up. And Shiva says, sorry. And now, because Guff is on the ground, I need you to roll me another reflex save.
11 plus 3, 14.
Okay. Another skeletal hand pops out from right below you, almost like right up. It tries to grab your leg, and you are able to basically just kick it off. You're like, there.
Don't touch me.
And it is now initiative time.
What?
So everybody, go ahead and roll me initiative.
Oh, shit.
Jump rope. Have you rolled for dexterity yet?
Yes, I have. The only one I haven't rolled for now is charisma.
Okay.
16.
16. That's a good one.
I rolled a nat 1 again. This is not my set of dice.
How does it
Switching.
feel?
What is your dexterity bonus, by the way? I didn't know.
It's a plus. I rolled a 12 for my dexterity,
Okay.
10 for strength, 10 for con, 9 for int, 16 for wisdom.
Okay. So Shiva is going to go first because I rolled a nat 20. So that's weird. Nat 1, nat 20. Let's do it. All day. And she's just going to throw one of these daggers. And she just whips it at it. And it just kind of sticks in the dirt. She's like, I don't know what I was expecting. And then she's just going to start start like twirling the other blade around in her fingers, and then she pulls out the other one. She's like, "Okay, here we go. I'm ready for this." And she will cast her another bardic performance. So you all get a +1 moving forward for the remainder of the fight for this. So now it is Guff, your turn. There is a skeletal hand kind of like grasping about, sticking out of the ground.
What would be Guff's immediate reaction? Ah! Kick it!
Okay, straight up kick it.
Yeah, just kick it.
Go for it.
I'll deal no damage though, because I have no strength, but...
roll me an attack.
Alright, 14 -1 because strength. 15.
That'll hit.
It's no damage because I have no strength.
No, go ahead and roll me a d4, just because you are making a... Oh wait, are they immune to bludgeoning? No, they're vulnerable to bludgeoning. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a d4.
4.
4 damage? Okay. You kick the hand off. Just kind of like... and the hand kind of goes flipping off into the darkness, and you just see this nubbin of an arm kind of like... do you want to move? You're basically standing right next to this.
Oh, well, I was on the ground, so I kind of did, but...
I guess we can do this now.
Yeah, I'll just stand up and back away like, ah!
So currently there is Tombstone on the ground. I assume this is Jump Rope. And then we have Guff. I'm going to make Guff a triangle. And we'll have a... There we go. We'll make Shiva a circle. Okay, so skeleton hand. So you're going to stay there? You're just going to stay there and kind of watch?
I'm going to move there. Here.
Okay.
I'm just going to back off in panic. Like,
Actually, I guess, we could do that. You could all just draw your own placement. I will, next week, I think I'll set up the Aegis software so we can actually see some 3D stuff. That'll be fun. Anyways. Okay, so you back up. That's fine. It is now the skeleton's turn. And you see that hand slowly become an elbow. Well, where the hand was, you see the elbow come out of the ground. And you see the dirt kind of pile up. And you see the old, desiccated face of what looks like an old dwarf. Slowly pulling himself out of the ground. He's about halfway up now. And he just moans towards you. Jump Rope next to you. You hear the tombstone. Thunk, thunk. You hear bone grinding against stone, and then you see from the side, the edge of the tombstone, you see fingers kind of like pulling their way out.
I'm gonna look down at my crossbow and look at those fingers and go, whoop, and then just like jump onto the headstone and try and smash him down with my weight.
Okay, roll me an attack.
What bonus, if any, am I adding to this?
You just do a stomp attack, so just add your strength.
Okay.
Just trying to jump on it.
That's nothing, so it's a total of 15.
15 to hit. That will hit the stationary stone block. Go ahead and roll a d4 of improvised damage.
Okay.
Yeah, you're small, so it's a d4.
I'm a medium creature.
Oh, okay, roll a d6. Because you're throwing your weight at it. Pump, pump, pump.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. That's fine. You hear some...
Not very good at stomping.
It is also set on the dirt, so, like, that's fine. Okay, Shiva's turn now. She looks, she's like, okay, I was ready for goblins. I don't know if I'm ready for this. And she's just going to continue her performance. So you all still get a +1 to your attacks and damage. So actually, I forgot that you guys do both get...
+1.
Yeah, +1. Because she's performing for you. She's trying to, like, yeah, we got to do this. And she's doing like a little dance while she's throwing knives in the air. And she'll whip one of her knives at the one coming out of the ground. And she rolled a 2, so it whizzes by. And it comes back to Guff's turn.
Okay. Hyperventilating. And I'm gonna just run and tackle it.
Gonna tackle it? Okay. Go for it. So roll me a athletics check, I guess. So just
Because
add
I
your...
forgot my sword.
I mean, you have it if you want to use it. I'm not going to say you...
I don't have it.
Okay. Is it like sitting on the ground over here?
Yeah, it's like somewhere. Yeah, there.
Okay, yeah.
Because I got knocked to the ground.
You basically like run at this guy, this body, and you jump and you kind of grab it around the neck and just like pull it over to the ground, and you pin it. You just like jump on it, and it's just like half still stuck in the ground, bent backwards, like just kind of wobbling with its arms flailing about in the air. You have it fully grappled, and you can do what you want with it. So that sounded weird.
What? I can do a what?
You can do what you want with it. Yeah. You have control of the grapple right now, so you have it. You have it maintained.
Can I suplex it?
Next turn. I'll say next turn because you ran over there and you grabbed it. So you
it's a
successfully
turn,
have it.
Yeah, that's a question. Just
I will say next turn you can absolutely try to suplex it if you want. I think that's legit. Okay, so that goes to their turn. He's going to take a swipe attack at you because you're holding him by the neck. He's just going to try to claw you real quick. And he rolled he rolled a 6, so I think you're fine.
I have 15,
but,
I think, actually.
But we do need to figure out what your armor class is right now. So...
it's 13 probably if the dex, but if I'm a barbarian, then it's 15.
Yeah, you don't have that yet, so it is just going to be your dex. So that's what, 12?
Yeah, 13 then.
13? Okay. So you have 13 AC at the moment. He misses you horribly. And it is now the skeleton's turn.
Unless I get the natural armor from Pathfinder. Probably not.
Yeah, well, you might. You never know. So we'll find out. But the arm jump rope, you've slowed the climbing out of this. It's like, and it's now a full arm sticking out of the gravestone, like swinging, trying to find you. But that's it. Its whole turn was to get free of your stomp, and it is now your turn.
Okay. Oh geez. I'm going to.
Oh dang, the undead.
I guess I'm just gonna try and punch it because I don't have anything else. I don't think that I can shoot it from this range, so I'm just gonna try and smash.
Use your legs.
Are you metagaming about crossbows and skeletons, or are you?
I don't want to shoot something right at my own feet.
Okay, that's fair. I just want you to. I mean, you have
It's
the
a
option
hand.
to.
How are you gonna shoot the hand?
I want you to be aware that if that's a thing you can do.
Okay. I want to deal with the one right at my feet. I don't want to shoot at my own feet.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and punch it.
Gonna punch a hand. Go ahead and try to punch a hand.
I rolled a 15 on the dice.
That will be enough to punch a hand. A hand that is pinned to the ground.
Is that a D4 or a D6?
That's going to be a D4.
I rolled a 1 again.
Okay, that is fine.
Progress.
We're making progress, slowly but surely.
You hear a few of the finger bones kind of crack, and you realize that these are very old bones. Okay, we jump back around to Shiva's turn, and she's like, "This is weird. This is definitely weird." Let me see if she maintains her performance. She does. She's like, I'm not sure what we should be doing here, and she's going to run over to the. I lost my pen. It's in my other hand. She's going to run over here to the one that you have grappled.
Advantage.
Yep. And she's just gonna swing down at it with one of her daggers. She missed. She missed horribly, but she had advantage, so because it's grappled. And she's gonna go ahead and do her damage there. She does 2 damage. 2 damage to it, and that's her turn. So it is Guff's turn.
Okay.
So she just runs up and plunges it into
I
the
have
thing.
like its head grabbed. I'm
Yeah.
gonna use my other hand, put my hand under its ribcage, and then I'm just gonna use my measly 20-pound weight and just jump in the air and suplex it on the ground.
Okay.
With my weight on it.
Go ahead and roll me an athletics check, and if you roll above a 15, I will give you bonus damage.
All right, 16.
16, nice.
-1, so it's 15.
-1 is 15, still enough. Okay, so go ahead and roll a D8 because I was gonna have you do a D6 for suplexing it.
1. 1. -1 from
Well,
strength. So
You get a +1 because of the bardic performance. So
oh yeah, I do.
you hear a crack, and then it's kind of like it looks and it turns its head at you and just goes. "Ah."
That's my turn.
Do you want to move or anything?
Is it still grappled to me?
You still have the grapple, yeah, with the 16. So
Is it half stuck underground still?
no, you pulled it out of the ground and suplexed it.
I'm gonna. Okay, this is gonna be a horrible idea, but I'm gonna pull it next to the gravestone
Okay.
if I can. Probably halving my movement or something, but I wanna just get to hard stuff close. I have an idea.
So you're gonna. I'd say yeah. I'll say you make your way over here.
Yeah, I wanna
gravestone.
get like here. Somewhere.
Okay, and I will say that.
Yeah, somewhere like close enough so I can.
Jump rope is up here. And
I want to smash its skull against the fucking
Okay.
gravestone.
Yeah, next turn you can definitely do that. It is the skeleton's turn. The one in your
Why
hand.
am I doing this? I have a great sword.
You have a great sword. The skeleton rolled a 16.
It's free.
And luckily he only did 1 damage to you. And now it's a good time to figure out if you have hit points. So go ahead and roll me a D8. And add your Constitution modifier to it. Okay.
7.
7 hit points. So you've taken 1 point of damage.
Ow.
It's just kind of like flailing bones are just flicking everywhere, and you get elbowed in the eye, and you're like, ah, dang it. Okay. The one under you, jump rope, I need you to make a reflex save as the skeleton is now like shuffling the stone, and you're standing on top of it.
Okay. That was a total of 14.
14? Okay. You are knocked off the stone, but you just kind of hop off. You're like, ah. And the stone shifts a little bit, and now this one is about halfway out of the ground.
Okay.
So I'll say, which way do you want to jump? Because you succeeded in that. Do you want to land here or here?
Is the one with the X... Guff is the triangle, correct?
Correct. Here, we'll do it this way.
I want to jump so that I'm opposite of him.
Okay.
So that the
Over here?
skeleton is in between us. Yep.
This is the one that just came out of the ground. He's holding on to this one.
I want to jump.
Okay, that's going to be your movement then.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? I mean, you haven't... It's your turn now.
Okay. Sorry, I thought that was just from my reflex.
Well,
save. I
yeah,
thought
your
it was
reflex
still the
was, do you want to
skeleton.
fall here or here? And you said, I'm moving over here. so that's your movement.
Sorry, I'll fall here.
Okay. It is now your turn. What do you want to do?
I want to try and stomp the skeleton who's under the box still.
He is not under the box anymore. He is now halfway out. That's why he knocked you off.
I still want to stomp it.
Okay, roll me an attack roll.
13.
13 will hit.
Okay, and that's
D4.
D4.
Yeah, it's a D4 of improvised damage.
2 damage.
2 damage. All right, it's good damage.
Maybe I'm a monk. Makes me a monk.
That's always an option. You could be a monk with a great sword. You still have proficiency in it. All right, so we're moving on with that. It is back to...
I could be a cancer.
It's back to Shiva's turn, and she's gonna run up, and she's like, "Hold it still, hold it still." She's gonna try to stab it again. She misses, and she just stabs it right in the chest, but it goes through the rib cage and like into the ground, and she's just like, "Oh, and she'll pick up another one of her knives and like flick it up over her shoulder and grab it and put it back where it belongs in her coat. So once again, bardic performance still going. She's got one more round of that. So you guys are all still getting +1, and it is Guff's turn. You gonna smack it? You gonna smack it, or you gonna use your sword?
Whilst I'm grabbing it, I'm just gonna slam it against the gravestone.
Okay, roll me another.
I'm not gonna try to lift it above my head. I just drop it, you know.
Okay. Well, so if you want to do it as an attack, you can either roll an attack roll, and that will end the grapple, So you're just kind of like, or you can maintain the grapple.
Attack.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and do that. Just roll an attack for it. Add your strength.
-1. 14.
14. That's still enough. You kind of like pick it up and just like flip it over your shoulder, and it smacks its head into the stone. Go ahead and roll me a D4 plus your strength.
2.
2. Okay. And then is that with the +1 from her bonus?
I have -1 to strength.
Oh, right. So it equals out. Okay. Got it. This thing's looking pretty shambled. Like, you guys are beating it up pretty good.
I'm just suplexing it, doing some WWE moves on this.
So now this one is over here. I'll say they're both just kind of laying on the ground. So you got 2 skeletons over here. We're going to the skeleton's turn. One of them pulls itself completely out of the ground. It's going to take a swipe at jump rope. And rolled an 11. So what's your armor class?
So my dexterity is +1, and you said I had leather armor, which gives me a +1. So I think my armor class should be 12.
Okay. So, yep. So we're using the Pathfinder rules, I think. So that does work that way. So that's a hit. Oh no, I said 11. I went 11. So and you're getting a +1 because of the bardic. So you're good. It misses you.
Bardic used +1 AC.
It's giving you everything. It's great. It's actually a prayer spell. Is what I'm basing it off of.
So if we're going Pathfinder, I would have like 15 AC right now.
It should be your AC, whatever your dex
Then
is. Whatever your dex.
I don't know if I'm getting my natural armor.
You're not. Oh, for your koboldness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Is that what you want to do?
Since for Pathfinder was a natural armor.
So what's your dexterity right now is
+3.
+3.
17.
And then your natural armor is +1.
Yeah, should be at least.
Yep, that sounds right. Okay. You're a tough little kobold. That's good. That one's going to attack that one. He's going to attack you. Let's see if he can hit you. You rolled a 10. He did not. So he's skeleton's grabbing at you again. He's standing up and attacking. And it is Guff's turn. She missed. You suplexed. They attacked. Jump rope's turn.
Okay. I am going to try to shoot the one that Guff is fighting.
Okay.
I rolled an 8 on the die, and my dexterity is +2, so that should be a 10 total.
Okay.
Oh, no, my dexterity is a +1, so a 9 total. To hit, I don't think I hit him.
No, not with a range weapon.
Twang.
And it's a light crossbow, so you can use your movement to reload it if you want.
I am going to do that.
Ridiculous stuff next
to. It's coming up. Okay, so let's see. So now what I'm doing, I'm playing really weird, so don't ask me later what kind of class the bard is, because I will figure that out later. But she does lose her bardic performance this round.
Oh shit.
She's kind of juggling, and she sees you throw the skeleton, and then you shoot a crossbow bolt, and she goes, ah, because she thinks that it's going to hit her, and her knives just kind of go, just kind of fly off into the air. And she's like, okay. And she pulls out one of those sharp knives, and she will kind of reposition herself over here. She's just going to move. She's just kind of like, she's just like positioning herself so they can't get away. She's like, what do we do? What do we do? And now it is Guff's turn.
Okay, this is gonna be ridiculous. I was like, should I do a flip and smack it with my tail? But I'm like, yeah, that's not true. But I'm still gonna try.
I like how all week you're like, I want to be a kobold with a great sword. Kobold is a great sword. I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna punch it a whole bunch.
Yeah. I'm like, great sword. But I'm gonna. I mean, it would get an attack of opportunity, and I would need to spend a turn to pick it up. That's the issue.
Yeah, I mean, you could go get it. Why would it get an attack of opportunity?
Because I'm moving away from it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because your greatsword's over here, right? Is that what we said?
Yeah, because I dropped it.
Okay.
Panic.
You could also ask someone else to pick it up, or you could.
I'm just gonna. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's get the sword.
All right, you're gonna go grab the sword. So it is gonna grab at you as you walk by. It rolled an 11, so it misses.
Okay.
Half your movement there. You grab the sword. I will say you'll be able to get back into combat range if you want, but you'll probably not be able to attack it yet this turn.
Yeah, I'll just get back, I guess.
Sure. Okay. Kind of takes some swings at you, and now we got Guff with a great sword. Okay, it is their
That's
turn. This skeleton is now completely out of the ground, and it misses jump rope with a 9. The other one rolls a 7. So they're both there. It is Shiva's turn. She's going to run up and try to shank this thing in the back.
I mean, I have a great sword.
And she rolled a 10. So that's a miss. So it is Guff's your turn. She just like shanks it again. She's like, dang it, they don't have organs. And she
Alright. As I'm running towards them with my raid sword, I'm gonna do a flip with the sword and try to hit it.
roll me an athletics check. And if you roll good, I'll give you some
17.
17? All right, yeah. You like
That's really...
you jump and like stick the sword into the ground and kind of vault up into the air, and then with your tail you like whip the sword around. So go ahead and roll for your attack. And I will negate the negatives on this for you.
So I rolled with advantage.
Yep,
I
go for
rolled
it.
a 2 and then a true 1.
So you do this maneuver where you vault with the sword, and you come down, and you're like, yeah! And you realize that you left the sword in the ground behind you, and you're like,
Oh shit. I'm gonna fall on it now.
So the sword is right here. You can pick it up, no problem. But you missed. You horribly missed, and you just kind of like reach back and grab the sword, and like, ha! And now you're ready for next turn.
I'm trying to be flashy all the time.
And Shiva's like, I know it's hard, right? I don't get it. She's just jabbing her dagger at the thing. It is their turn again. Let's see if they can hit anything. Ooh, that one nat 20'd on poor little Guff.
Oh no.
4 damage happens to you. Now let's see what happens to jump rope. 7. So, yeah, 4 damage. I rolled really low. As it just like slashes his claw across your chest. You know? Jump rope is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hit this one, the one straight in front of me with the back end of my crossbow.
Okay, go for it. Strength check. Or a strength. It's just a strength melee attack.
I rolled a 5, so I do not able to hit him.
Level 0 parties! All right. Nothing happens. That's great. It is her turn. She rolls a 10. Still doesn't know how to use the dagger, apparently. She likes to throw them. She's going to back up. She's going to kind of sidestep. She's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This isn't working. And she's freaking out a little bit. Guff, it is your turn again.
Oh god.
You do still get advantage.
How does Guff look? Like, is he looking rough?
2 HP.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm gonna, as I'm picking up the sword, I'm gonna use the momentum and just slash at it.
Sure, go for it. Jump rope, make me a reflex save.
20.
20,
total.
nice. You duck as this a big sword just comes woofing around.
With the advantage, 2 and a 6.
2 and a 6? Cool. Roll for the other skeleton now, too, that you almost hit.
Okay.
Because he did not make his reflex
Natural
save.
20.
Okay, so this one, you're like, wow! This one is missed completely. Go ahead and roll your damage and double it.
Okay.
I'm giving you a huge swing here.
16 minus 1 from strength, so 15 slashing damage.
15 slashing damage. That one, like, you hit it and you think like, oh, I'm gonna cleave it in half, and the bones just like kind of shatter into dust. And you've completely shattered this one. And oh no, she's fine. She ducks too. So
Cleave.
Nearly killed Antic's assistant.
would not be the first time I've accidentally killed my own NPCs. So that was pretty dope. I like that. So you've killed that one. It's their turn now. The other skeleton rolls a 14 to hit jump rope.
That will be the first time I've ever been hit.
Okay, roll a d8 plus your constitution.
4.
Okay, that's plus your constitution.
Yep.
Okay, you take 2 hit points or 2 damage
Okay.
from your 4 hit points. So that did not feel good to have a skeleton just stick its hands in your guts. And then Shiva looks at both of you and just like, oh crap, and she pulls out her little flask that Father Forthill gave her, and she's gonna run over to you. She's just gonna like kind of circle around, and it looks like she's got the flask in one hand and the dagger in the other, but she's not sure what to do. So that's her deal. It is Guff's turn. I'm gonna say, because I think it's funny, you have now officially activated your barbarian rage.
Oh shit! +2 damage.
Morgan, I'm sorry. Jump rope. Roll
I don't
me
know.
a perception check.
Oh.
22.
We'll come back to that. Okay. Barbarian raging. What do you want to
What
do?
do I get as a Pathfinder barbarian?
You gain, technically, since you're going to level 1, you get 2 constitution. So you gain 1 hit point, 1 temporary hit point. You get +1 to your strength, and +1 to your strength, +1 to your constitution, or bonuses wise. So basically, add one to everything, and you have a bonus hit point since you're level 0. And I'm gonna say you have 2 rounds of this, and then it's gonna fall off. So you just like.
As I'm spinning the blade, I'm gonna keep up the momentum and go ahead slash onto it.
Okay, go for it.
Do I need to make another reflex save?
No,
The
this
blade
is
going around.
that was
again?
that was
That's why I did an
the
overhead.
that was the rage initiating was the spin
Alright.
move.
With advantage, that was a natural 1 and a 17.
Okay, the 17 hits. So go ahead. Go ahead and roll me your damage.
8 total.
8 total.
It
Okay.
was 9. Minus 1, I remember.
Nice. So the slashing damage doesn't seem to do as much as you would have hoped, but it does take a big chunk out of the skeleton. And Morgan, sorry, jump rope. I'm sorry.
One more.
As the sword hits you and hits the skeleton and kind of explodes, you see what looks like the butt of a crossbow, possibly something else in its belt, and it kind of like falls out of the belt at your feet.
I'm gonna pick that up.
Okay. Roll me an intelligence check real quick.
12, so that makes it an 11.
An 11. This is the strangest crossbow you've ever seen, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like a flintlock pistol.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Blammo.
Never seen a crossbow like. Why would you bury somebody with one of these?
It doesn't have arms, but it does have a trigger, and it does appear to be cocked.
Okay. I'm going to put that in my belt. This skeleton is dead though, right?
No. What do you mean dead? It is a skeleton.
Like he exploded, you said.
No, that was the other skeleton.
This one is still alive.
This one is still very much alive.
I thought that the one in front of me exploded.
Nope.
Crap. I don't know if I would have. I'm gonna aim at it and pull the trigger.
Okay, pick this up. Oh, what is this? Bang! Go ahead and roll me an attack.
What am I adding to aim with this?
Dexterity.
Okay, that's a 14 to hit.
Okay. A loud cacophonous bang rings throughout the
Quiet
cemetery.
graveyard
Yeah,
night.
the quiet graveyard night. Go ahead and roll me your damage. That's going to be a D6 with no bonuses.
I rolled a 6.
Nice. Okay.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 6.
You're hoping through all of your prayers and panic as your lifeblood is draining from you with most of your life being ripped away. You pick up this crossbow and you say, I hope there's an arrow in this. And you hear the loud explosion echo out. It explodes in your hand, apparently. And you freak out and you drop it and you're like, what was that? And when you look out to expect to see a crossbow bolt stuck in the head of the skeleton, you actually see no skeleton head. The body has just been shattered and knocked apart and flung away as it settles to the ground. The pistol is now laying at the ground. There appears to be no more combat as far as you can tell. Guff, your rage subsides and you feel exhausted and fatigued. Shiva runs up to Marinara and basically just like, here, drink this. And you recover.
I'm gonna just
you recover 2 hit
fall
points.
down on my ass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall to my knees.
Hands on my knees and take it from her and drink it.
Yeah. Then Guff, do you also have the potion?
It's in my bag. And
Okay.
where is my bag?
Yeah. So as soon as Marina starts drinking, Shiva will run over and start like looking for your bag and like checking you, making sure you're not dying. And she grabs the potion and she's like, here, drink this. So you've both exhausted. Well, I guess
Forces into my face. I'm like,
you still have your own. You still have your potion, but you heal 4 hit points.
Okay.
Does
Does
she
that
touch
put
me?
me back up at 4 total, or am I
Yeah,
at
4
6
total.
now?
No, you're at 4 total.
Okay.
And I think as you lay in the darkness, you listen, and you don't hear any more skeletons. It's now gone silent after this thunderous blast from this strange device. You look around.
I'm gonna say to the stars or nobody in particular. I think those goblins may be coming back if they heard that.
What would you like to do?
did I drink my potion?
You did. You drank your potion. You got 4 hit points back because Shiva fed it to you, so she got to roll for it.
I hope she didn't touch me.
She did a little bit. Do you want to roll?
Oh no.
Do you want to roll a will save?
11 plus 2, 15.
Yeah, you're good. You're just like, okay, fine. And she feeds you this potion.
My thing is, I don't like being touched.
That's canon. And at this point now, you are tired and exhausted. You know there might be goblins coming back. You're not sure. What do you want to do? Do you want to? I will say at this point you see a light that is now lit beyond the cathedral. It looks like someone's holding a lamp up. Someone is looking out, and in the distance you see Father Fort Hill. Like, are you okay? I heard a noise. What's going on?
I'm gonna use my sword as kind of like a leverage to lift myself up. Like,
You do now have proficiency with that sword, I will say,
excellent, fine.
as you are now a level 1 barbarian. We will deal with that in a bit.
I'm going to get up and dust myself off, and then go to the mausoleum and try to like push the door closed.
Okay. The door has been repaired. The hinges work. It is creaky, and it is a heavy stone door, but you are able to just close the mausoleum.
Is there some way to lock it, or?
There are rings. You could, if you had chain, or if you want to tie it up with a rope, you could do that. There are means to lock it, but there is not like a lock.
Okay. I'm going to use my rope, and some of my rope I'll cut off 5 feet of it or so, and I will try and tie the ring shut so the goblins can't get back in.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a roll me a strength check. That's fine.
Oh boy. That was a 6.
6. Okay, it's tied. You're not sure how effective, but it's tied.
I looked to Guff and I'm gonna say, I think we should probably go back up to the church. This may have been a little more than we thought we were getting into, but at least we can tell them about the goblins living in here now.
Bryce made a good point. I just made 2 skulls in my head. No, I don't think that counts because everything I make is going to have a skull. Shiva, looking back to you, says, and you now see she's like putting her gloves back on. She's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get the hell out of here." she seems kind of spooked, and she's just she's a little upset.
I'm gonna be like, I did it.
I imagine just like holding the sword up. That's great.
I'm gonna pick up that weird crossbow and just look at it and put it in my coat pocket. I guess I want to make sure it's not going to explode again.
There is a, as far as you can tell, it is disabled. It's uncocked.
Okay.
The skull of the thing that you blasted, the dwarven body skeleton. There we go. The dwarven skeleton did have a fancy hat, kind of similar to yours, laying next to the ground. Next to the pistol.
Gunslinger like you until I got my head blown off.
I'm going to try and like pick up that crap. I'm going to ask them for help. I want to see who was on this headstone.
Okay.
Do you want my help? Okay. I will try in my exhausted state to assist.
Shiva, help us here. Try and let's see if we can turn this over. We can do it tomorrow, but I want to know now. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration for this because I want it to work.
Go for it.
So my strength check was a 10.
You're aiding as well?
I am, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
Okay. That one was cocked. 17
Okay.
plus 3 for a total of 20.
You are able to tip up this headstone, and as you lift it up and kind of put it back in its place, you see the name Captain Willie Boombeard. Long may he rest, and from the dark seas that he once protected. He seemed to be some kind of captain, or maybe a Navy captain or something. Willie Boombeard. Did you take the hat?
I'll look at his hat, I guess.
You see it? It is a hat. Do you want to take it?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't want to take this man's
You are
hat
now
from him.
the proud owner of Willie Boombeard's blunderbuss. And as you kind of cluster, collect yourselves, and you see Shiva picking up her daggers. You all kind of start shuffling your way down towards Father Ford Hill, and he kind of brings you in, and he sees that you're still a little wounded, Guff, and he says, "Oh, come with me, come to the church. We can heal you up. What happened?" And he starts asking you about your adventure.
I just want to cry at this point.
Well, you can tell him not to touch you. What do you want?
Please don't touch me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. He kind of backs up. He's like, "Please, this way."
Oh god, I'm gonna shuffle up the stairs or whatever.
Sure.
Get inside the.
Yeah. He brings you into the church, and he says a prayer, and like all these little lights kind of boop 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 boop, and he lights the cathedral up. I think this is a good place to stop. I will say, through the end of the night, he heals you, so you all heal. You get a night's rest. You retell him what you've told him, and he says, "I have much to think about. This is not what I expected at all. The goblins make sense. We've seen an influx of goblins running around here. I did not know they were staying in the mausoleum, but that might make a lot of sense. Well, this is far from over, and sure enough, I will pay you your 10 gold for the night, but I feel like there might be more to this. I might have to raise the price on my adventuring fee, it would seem." And he refills your potions, so you all still have your D4 potion.
I'm gonna fall asleep right there.
That's
on
fine.
the floor.
He gives you he comes back with a blanket for you, and there are little cots set up, even though you could walk 20 minutes back to the thing if you want. Guff is sleeping on the floor of the cathedral.
I'm gonna sleep in one of the pews.
And it seems like Shiva doesn't want to go either, but there are cots if you want to lay in a cot. They have places for people to stay. So that's where we are going to end. Wonderful, wonderful introduction to Sandstone, I hope. Siltstone. And congratulations on not being murdered by skeletons or goblins. Nice job.
Wowee. I'm gonna have to figure out how to path of their fucking character shit.
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing to do. I think that's probably a good... the way he pushed that hat, I'm assuming the hat was magic. You will never know now, Bri. You will never know. But I think that's
Don't
a good...
take another man's hat.
Totally fair.
Oh yeah, I have a hit die of D.
Totally fair. So I think that's a good place to stop. I think we can jump back to. It is 1:30. Jump rope. I know you have some stuff to do later. Do you want to hang out or you want to take off?
I could hang out for a little bit longer,
Okay.
but my time is limited.
So I think that's probably works for the blunderbuss exactly. I think that's a good place to stop the adventure. But I think we could probably go back to the D&D live chat over here in the Discord, and we can just have a little post after show and talk to people about that, and go from
They
there.
want to talk with us.
Yeah, if they want to talk to us, I don't know. Is there anybody actually there? They might not be there.
No, there's no one there.
There's no one there. That's fine. We can just hang out then, I guess. If people want to hang out in the live chat, we can. We can just doodle some more. I got some characters. We got a character list now. I can help you build out your barbarian if you want.
Please do.
Jump rope, you are now a level 1 gunslinger since you were undecided.
Okay.
I thought it would be interesting.
I am the
That's fine.
weakest barbarian. out there.
You got to get that
So-
rage.
I've been building my character out in on a 5e template, but I don't think there's.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I think we'll use the Pathfinder sheets just so
Yeah.
that the information is there
Only use the
Okay.
gunslinger is a subclass for
for fighter. Yeah, you could build it out that way, but
I guess I know that the Pathfinder gunslinger is probably does things differently than the fighter sub gunslinger,
So-
and I don't know how they're actually built differently. So I'll probably need some help with that.
I got to do push-ups. Okay. Yeah, we can build it either way. I think if we use the Pathfinder sheets, it'll give us more of an option. I might need to find a PDF that will work for people, so we can do that.
What if I just take the picture of the PDF and open it in like my version of Photoshop and start
Yeah,
drawing on it?
if you want to do it that way, that will totally work. Otherwise, I do know that there are editable PDFs.
There are. I like that as well.
Jump rope, I think you still need a roll for your charisma.
I
Your
do.
roll for your charisma. And then...
Editable Pathfinder character.
Pathfinder.
Let's see.
I
Please.
got a charisma. If we're doing it
gonna do some push-ups
the
here.
5e way, it's 15. If we're doing it the Pathfinder way, I have a +2 to put somewhere from being a half elf.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
let's just use the Pathfinder. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, that means
Okay.
I lose my pack tactic though. Is it?
I think we can keep that. I think that's fair. If you want to keep pack tactics, we'll just replace fast movement. I will let you
Fast
replace fast movement with pack tactics.
I have fast movement. What?
For Pathfinder, that's what barbarians get.
Oh.
Actually, I thought that was a racial thing.
No, that's not a racial thing.
Is pack tactics a barbarian thing or a racial thing?
It's a racial thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can use the kobold template if you want. Just follow the kobold template from D&D into Pathfinder. That's fine.
The kobold thing is. I guess I don't know how to make traps then. We could replace that, I guess.
It's up to you. Yeah. So I would say pick one, and whichever one you want to use, just use all of that, because it's going to be statted differently as well.
Maybe I'm a weird bastard race of a kobold, you know.
I mean, if you want to use all the Pathfinder stuff and have pack tactics, I would say you could drop. Let's take a look at it real quick.
I cannot read apparently.
Me?
I have 5 race points.
Greater weakness.
Yeah.
I would say if you want pack tactics.
Jesus, what the fuck was that?
That was really loud. I don't know what that was. Oh,
Sorry,
I think you
I
hit your.
accidentally hit my spring.
No, Bri. Now I have to do 90 push-ups. He started and got distracted for us asking how your character. Oh, you're reading. Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
Replace
So
what?
your natural armor, you still get a +1 AC.
Still have light sensitivity.
You still have light sensitivity. Base speed, standard, normal, natural armor, trap making. Yeah, I'd say
I'll just take the skip. I don't even want traps.
Yeah, I'd say ditch all of the craft stuff.
Profession miner. That's what I said. That was a good.
I'm gonna take away one of your natural armor as well.
Oh, rest in peace, my only +1 natural armor.
Yeah, you're a really aggressive kobold. Swinging that sword around makes you a little slower. So
Alternative race. What the fuck are these? I didn't even see these.
Yeah, those are different things. Pathfinder has a lot of information. So if you want to look at those instead, see what they replace. But pack tactics is fun. I think it's a cool move. We just have to balance it out.
I have to have an ally in 5 feet, like next.
Yeah. It's basically flanking, always flanking bonus, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
90 push-ups. Dang. All right, I've got to get started.
90 push-ups. Yeah.
90 push-ups. 90 push-ups.
Maybe I just don't add backpack and just use the normal kobold shit. I don't do Pathfinder barbarians have reckless attack or something. Or is it that's just a 5th edition thing?
Sorry, what were you asking?
What are Pathfinder barbarians like? Do they get reckless attack?
They get some weird stuff. So you get fast movement, rage powers, which is that's how the totem barbarians work. Like when you rage, you get special abilities.
Okay.
Really good.
I'm just gonna use the normal goddamn kobold shit.
Okay. Alternatively, because if you want that, like I said, if you want to get rid of fast movement, which would give you plus 10 feet of movement, I think that's a good trade out for pack tactics.
I mean, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because you're a kobold that's not good at running away. You're good at standing next to people and stabbing them with a sword.
I'm a fight person instead of flight. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I
don't know what do you guys think of a guff?
I like guff. I think it's really fun. I've done 20. Done 20 push-ups so far.
I have. Oh yeah, I have to fucking.
So you are all now level 1. Your hit points will change. So your hit dice is now a D12. So you automatically level 1, get 12 plus your Constitution. What's your?
Mine is a D10.
Okay, so yours is 10 now instead of 4.
Pathfinder.
I feel 2.5 times as strong.
you picked up that gun and you're just like, oh, I'm so powerful now.
I don't understand.
Oh yeah, I'm done. Okay, I can edit this one. Excellent.
Okay, good. You got one? Great. More!
This looks very weird, but I
More
think
push-ups.
this is...
I feel like everybody gets to level up and I just have to do push-ups.
Okay.
Gotta get those levels.
Can I edit this? Strength total.
15.
That text is so small. There we go. Base. What's it calculated?
4.
Oh yeah, it does. Holy shit. 14. 8.
Okay. Whew, I did 30 that time. Little lightheaded. Little lightheaded. Whew. Okay, so that's 50.
I'm gonna have to
50.
character Guff player Jonas. Oh, I cannot write my own name. Jonas. Race and LA. What? What is that?
What was the question?
Race and LA.
Race and ally?
L-A. The letter L
Oh.
and A.
Yeah, I don't know.
How is that?
That's weird.
I don't know. I'll put cobalt. Size. Small. Gender. Unknown. I haven't decided yet.
Undecided.
Height. I am 2 feet tall. 2 feet 4 inches. I weigh 24 pounds.
Whew. That sword is almost as heavy as you are. That's crazy. Rage!
Age 11 days.
11 days.
No, not really. I don't know.
You're well traveled because half your life was spent on a cart.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like 3 years. Alignment. Unknown.
That's for me. For me to know.
DT. Rook. Background and occupation. Banished clan kobold.
Pretty good.
Wait,
Good.
no. Bear taught a bear taught me to be a fucking barbarian. I don't know.
So what I'd like to do maybe on Monday is I think we should actually make like drawn character sheets for all these characters. And you can use this if you want. And maybe we'll color it up. And then that way we have like statted character sheets for people to see on the Discord. I think that would be a lot of fun.
The sword is bigger than Goth. Yes, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm probably gonna go Titan, whatever.
Titan Mauler would be good.
You told me it's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good.
I'm gonna trust you on this.
40 more. Here we go. I don't know if I can do 40 in one shot. I'm gonna try.
The fuck is fortitude? Is it's
So fortitude is just your it's just your constitution save. But you get it bonuses from being a barbarian. So instead of having a flat proficiency, it's varied, and that's why it gets a little complicated.
all right.
Here we go. 40 more.
I get a base +1 attack bonus, +2 fort save. Okay. Wait. Total space.
Okay, I did 20 more.
Why do I put the class? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Total hit points. Favorite class. Barbarian.
So, with your favorite class, every time you level up, you can either take 1 bonus hit point, 1 more skill point, or we need to look at kobolds. Favorite class, barbarian. When you are raging, your racial natural attacks deal a +1 point, or plus 1/4 point of damage. So
1/4. How much is 1/4?
basically, every 4 levels.
If you take 4 levels of barbarian, then you get an extra point of damage.
Your claws do more damage.
That is absolutely useless.
Yeah, so I would take the bonus hit point or the bonus skill.
I'll take the skill.
Cool. Okay.
Oh my god, there's so many skills.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What am I proficient in?
I gave you a proficiency in, and I wrote this down.
Survival and sleight of hand.
Yeah. Now, proficiencies in Pathfinder are very confusing, so I'm going to explain this, and it's kind of strange.
What is trade? What?
Trade is like if you're a bartender, you can learn trade.
No, I mean trained.
Oh,
not a trade.
yes. So you see all the little check boxes next to your stuff?
Yeah.
Barbarians are proficient in, and you're just going to check these off as I read them: acrobatics, climb, craft.
What?
Craft intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
Handle animal, intimidate,
All right.
knowledge nature,
What? Where the fuck is that?
knowledge, and then it's down under N. Knowledge of parentheses nature.
They
Oh.
may have taken all of the knowledges off, and you may need to, depending on what PDF you're looking at.
Okay. I have to add nature.
Got it. Perception.
Oh, well, that's a lot of bonuses.
Yeah.
All right.
Ride.
Okay.
Survival.
All right. I already have that.
And swim.
Impressive.
So, the proficiencies in these, if you put 1 rank into one of them. So you are level 1, you get 4 plus your int modifier, which is -1, I think, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you took +1 bonus, so it's 4. So every level you're going to get 4 skills. If you put a skill into one of those, you get a +3 bonus because you are, you're trained in it. You're proficient with it.
Oh, ranks. Okay.
Yeah. So you can put a rank. You can put a rank in anything you want. If you put a rank in one of those that is checked, you get a +3 bonus to it. +3 miscellaneous bonus.
Why is athletics?
Athletics is a combination of acrobatics and climb.
Oh.
It's also Pathfinder uses the combat maneuver bonus instead of athletics. I'm fine with just it being strength based.
So I can just do flips in the air to hit things.
Yeah, that's acrobatics. So
Okay.
I will.
Rank in
I will allow you to do strength checks with athletics. I think that's fine. I'll mix that in with your acrobatics.
Wait, how many points do I get?
4.
4.
So I can just put 4 points.
Nope. You can't go above your level in ranks.
Fuck.
Yep. You have to pick 4 different things at level 1.
Alright. I was good with animals, correct?
Sure.
Yep. Survival. One there. I am gonna be decent at climbing.
Sure.
Not 10. Jesus. I already like this more than actually the edition. Handle animal.
So basically, if I ever ask you for I think we can say climbing is athletics. I think that's a fair analogy.
If I want to climb something, probably.
Yeah, it's like, or if you don't want to do the CMB because I think that's a little tedious, we can definitely do athletic checks for like grappling, like you did against the skeleton. I think that's fine.
They're okay with me tackling shit.
Yeah, and we just might use the climb check instead of acrobat or athletics.
I'm gonna put one into perception. There goes my points. 1.
Okay.
I really like this one.
Yeah. Starting at level 1, you have the rage ability. We've swapped out your fast movement for pack tactics.
Yeah. What? No, feats.
Feats, you get 1 feat at level 1. I would suggest power attack. That's a pretty good one, considering you.
Power attack.
Basically, you take a -2 to hit, but you get a +4 to attack, right? Or is it -1 +2 right now?
I think it is -1 2.
Power attack.
Damage.
-1 penalty on attack rolls and a +2 on damage.
Unless
you're wielding it with 2 hands, which I assume you are with a greatsword, so you get.
Definitely am. I have
You
to.
get 1.5 times your strength modifier as well.
So it is actually it's -1 plus.
+3, yep.
I don't have any strength. How do I get more strength?
When you rage, you'll get more strength.
Okay.
That's one way. That can be your goal. Your goal for this quest is to be better with your sword.
I'm gonna exercise.
I gotta get swole.
Okay. Feats. I have to find that now. God.
There are a whole bunch of them. I would suggest power attack is a really good one. Combat expertise is a good one.
Feats.
Throw anything is the one I always take. So you can just, which
In Pathfinder,
Shiv
feats
does.
are basically how you can really
customize.
a character or get in.
So-
Yeah.
What if I just want to swing around a massive sword as a massive weapons in general?
Power attack.
I would also.
Power attack goes into cleave, goes into greater cleave.
Ooh. Okay. Cleave.
Yeah.
That's something 5th edition doesn't have.
Goes into swing, assault, or something like that. There's a lot of them. You can look at those. Don't have to do those right now. I'm going to do 20 more push-ups. I'm going to do 20 more push-ups. Here we go.
Expertise combat. What
Arms
is this?
jello. Knees weak.
Ah,
Mount spaghetti. 1, 2.
I have to find power. Exact. Oh. Do I just write it in the feats? I guess I do.
17.
It's very interesting.
Okay.
Or
Push-ups done.
when your base attack bonus reaches +4 every 4 points thereafter penalty.
Done
increases by
skis.
1. Prerequisite is 13 strength. I cannot take it.
Oh, power attack requires 13 strength.
Yep.
Okay.
I can't take it.
Can't take it yet. Gonna have to get buff. Gonna have to get swole.
I don't know how to get swollen.
There's some ways. We'll deal with it.
finds a giant spell of strength or something.
Oh, actually, so I forgot I was going to do this. So now that you have your stats, both of you have your stats.
Correct.
You're a level 0 character. I will allow you to either A, re-roll one stat, or switch positions with a stat.
I want to reroll my strength.
If you re-roll it and it is lower, that's too bad. So that's the gamble. That's the gamble.
Can it get worse then?
Yeah, it could. It could get worse. That's the gamble. You can either re-roll it, or you can just take 2 of the stats you have and change their places.
So if you have one that is a 13, you could switch something that is a 13
for your 9.
But that's my charisma, and I want to be cute.
There you go. Roll it. Could get worse.
Okay, what was the goddess of luck's name? Timora?
I actually don't know the goddess of luck.
Desna. Desna is the goddess of luck.
Okay, I don't know. I'm probably thinking of other gods.
Here we go.
3d6. Yeah. Oh yeah, reroll once, alright.
Yeah.
Okay. 12.
Better.
Fuck. I still get like a minus to my strength because my...
Well. Did you use the Pathfinder or the D&D stats?
I originally used the D&D, which is -2, but it's -4 in this. So it's even worse.
But you get +2 Dex and -2 Constitution. So like I said, you can use either stat block you want. So it's up to you.
I'll just fucking... Well, that makes my strength 10,
Okay.
I think. I apparently closed my character sheet. Fuck.
I mean, that's the character, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss everything.
Not necessarily.
Base. What's inherent? Oh, that's racial, I think. Correct? I don't know. Is it? It's a bit better.
Oh, you know what? You already have the natural armor bonus there. Okay, no, so that's gone. We traded that for... Or do we trade the... No, we're doing natural armor. Okay, we'll look at that.
I gave up my skills in, I don't know, something.
That's fine.
And then my movement, which is... Speed. Is defect.
Oh boy. Whew.
You know,
Okay.
base attack bonus is 1.
Yep.
CMD to attack. CMD to defend. What is that? Size. Oh yeah, size bonuses. What are those? I'm small. What do I get from being small?
You get a +1 to your attack armor class.
My base attack.
Nope. So you get a +1 size to your AC.
Okay. +1.
You get a +1 to your attack rolls. A -1 penalty on your combat maneuver checks.
And -1 to CMD as well.
Yeah, and CMB and CMD both get -1. And you get a +4 size bonus to stealth.
Okay. God, I'm gonna work on the next initiative. What? Experience, slow, medium, fast.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm gonna milestone everybody.
I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
Skills. What is? Oh, level 1 skills. What is BAB?
So that is your BAB is your base attack bonus. Wait, yeah, BAB. So that's that +1
Oh.
Your base attack bonus is +1.
Base attack bonus. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like I should
So
pull up a Pathfinder sheet here.
Like what?
I've
I
been.
could actually just share this stream.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. You can just share it in the Discord.
So you can see it.
You know what? I'm gonna test something out real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Let's.
okay.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna donk over the.
What am I missing here?
Be right back. There we go. Boop boop. This might kick me out of the stream. Hold on a second. Can you still hear me? Oh, now I'm on the wrong. Now I'm on the wrong side. So I can do that, but I don't think I want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back over here. Give me one second. You probably hear yourself pretty weird.
Oh, yeah, right.
There we go. Okay, we're just gonna go back to Photoshop.
How do anime?
Da, 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 da. We're back. Maybe. What did I do? There we go. Yeah, so you basically just input everything from the book onto this page, and you're pretty much good to go.
Oh, yeah, the ranks. 10 ranks. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got swim as well. One missing. One. I got intimidate. This is really confusing to me.
Sure. What are you looking at? Oh, this is auto filling, right?
Yeah, it's like calculates automatically stuff.
Yeah. So see, like where acrobatics, because you're proficient in it and you put a rank in it, you get +3, and then you +3 your ability plus your skill is 7. That's where that's coming from.
It's pretty nice. Armor. What am I missing here?
So your armor, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if you have that yet. Oh, barbarians.
Combat not modifiers. Spell failure 0%. That's scary.
A barbarian's land speed is faster than normal, +10 feet. This benefit only applies when wearing no armor, light armor, or medium armor. So you can wear armor if you want. That is something you can do.
I am not strong enough to play.
Correct.
What is HD?
Hit dice. So yeah, you have 1 hit die right now.
HP game.
Yep, 12.
Plus my constitution. I don't know what the fuck I add that. I
Plus
just
two.
write it in, I guess.
Actually, yeah, where is that? Oh, HP gained 12. Yeah, hit enter there. Total. Favorite class, current hit points. Oh, whoops. I wonder why it's not auto updating that.
Maybe I have to manually add it.
You might need to hit enter or something.
Nope.
Well, we can. Oh, probably you'd probably just put in 14. That's fine.
But, oh shit.
41. 41 hit
40.
points. Perfect. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, so you're not super strong, but that's all right. Base 12. Why do you have a -2 on that?
On what?
Your strength is 10. Oh, inherent plus -2. Got it. Okay.
Kobold.
Yeah, kobold. Skip cat, what's wrong? I just make a noise. All right, cat. I think you're pretty good to go.
Where the fuck did I put my speed? Oh, here.
So as long as you're not wearing armor, we can give you a 40.
Are you sure about that?
It's up to you. I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to switch pack tactics for that, or?
I'll take
I think
it back.
I think that's more legit, and then you can still wear armor too. because that's really all you're losing from the armor is your speed bonus.
Wait, I can still rage with armor?
Mm-hmm.
Can I still rage? Because in 5th edition you can't. I think you can't.
Yeah,
rage
you can here. I think. Yep. There's no reason not to.
I don't have any armor, so
yeah,
that would be nice.
So.
What else am I missing here? Class base 2. Reflex +3. Okay, that's nice. What am I missing now?
I think that's it. Yeah, basically your weapon, which is 2d6. It is a medium-sized weapon, so you are taking some negatives on it, but that's okay.
2D. Wait, where do I go to damage?
Great sword. Just type in great sword there. Yeah.
Grat. Where's there we go. Gratsverd.
Gratsword.
Sverd.
Yeah.
Enhance. What is enhance?
It's not magical yet, so that's fine.
Okay.
And then
attack modifiers. Oh yeah. 90 to 20.
Yeah, crit 1920. Size medium. Put medium in there.
Yes. Range 5 feet.
Type. Slashing.
I hope I
slashing.
Slash. My attack modifiers is minus.
So your attack modifier right now should be, I think it's melee. Yeah, it's +1. But because it's a great sword, you're taking a -2 on it. No, I said you were proficient. Oh, it's too big though. It's too big for you, so you're taking a -2 on it. So right now it's at -1 to hit with a 2d6.
All right, excellent.
That's not bad. That's not bad for a barbarian whipping around a giant sword.
If I have pack tactics, I'll be fine.
I think it might actually be a -4. Let me look.
I think might as well. Proficiencies.
Yeah, so you're proficient in, I think, all martial weapons.
All.
Let me look.
Martial.
Barbarians are proficient with all simple and martial weapons, light armor, medium armor, and shields, except tower shields. So.
I'm not gonna use a shield. I don't have armor. I don't have shields. Racial features.
This says you're not allowed to do it. Period. I say that's stupid. I'm gonna give you a -4 until you get the bigger weapon.
Okay, -4 to hit.
Yep, -4. So so then you also it would be a -4 normally. So then you have +1, so it equals out to like -3.
Well, I have +2 actually.
You have +2. Melee plus your strength, which is nothing.
Yeah, I have the size apparently.
Oh right, because you're tiny. That's weird. Just whipping
tiny,
around.
I'm small.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, you're -2.
Oh yeah, I can still hit things.
It's gonna be fun. Okay, cool. I think that about wraps it up. It is 2:00. I think Monday we'll let people do their own artwork for the characters. We have Antic, we have Shiva, we have Guff and Marinara.
Hey, you've made this into a spaghetti western. That's all on you.
And so I think Monday we'll do some art with them, and that'll be fun. And we can hear what people think about it. And if you have comments or questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. Or join the Discord, hang out. If you've hung out this long, thank you very much. Once again, we do have the membership program going now. So if you want to become a member, you'll get some free, it's behind-the-scenes content of upcoming videos. So if you don't want spoilers, don't look at that. That's fine. But we should have a new video coming out here in the next week, I hope. I'm going to try to get it out before the end of April, which is very fastly approaching. So we'll go from there, and we'll see. I don't know if we'll continue this next Friday or next Thursday. Might wait a little longer. We'll see how the artwork goes, and we'll go from there. But thanks again for watching. Keep your dice on the table, and kobolds can absolutely use great swords.
Big game hunter.
Bam.
That's what your DM says.
Talk to your TMs. See everybody later.